Welcome, Internet, to the Play Some Video Games podcast. It's your boy, Dad Ninja Dev, joined as always by Johnny Eat the Hype Reese, Bobby D. Williams, and the Gulf of Snurts.
Damn straight.
I was not expecting to see that, Delvin. Good job.
Yeah, well played, sir. Well played. That's awesome.
Very well played. Good stuff. All right. Well, just, for time's sake, let's just jump right into it. We're going to start with you, Snarts, because you're kind of a guest. What have you been up to this week?
So the last video game that I really got into was Ninja Gaiden 2 Black on the PS5. It is much enjoyed. I loved the first two. I played the original one on the Xbox back in the day, and I actually think I had so much free time that I completed it on like the hardest difficulty level. So I was like really dedicated to this series when it was coming out. The second one didn't. It always kind of bugged me, like especially with like the off-screen attacks and some of the stuff really felt cheap. But it is so much fun to slice people up, and this new version of it, which I guess is the definitive version now, has all that in spades. Plus, you get to play some of the extra characters, and it was really interesting just kind of going back into a game that is not modern melee-based combat with a dedicated dodge button with the parry systems and stuff like that. It is like charge up attacks. Block does a lot of work. Like if you're parrying, you gotta hold down the block button. If you're dashing, you gotta hold down the block button as well. So it kind of took me a while to like get back into the whole swing of things. It's like almost like riding like a unicycle again when I've been riding a bicycle for like the last 5 years. You're just like, okay, I know I can do this. And once I finally got into the flow, it was a blast. The combat is still twitchy. The story is just classic hammy anime stuff. It's just like, I will fight you because I want to fight you, and we are going to fight now. Okay.
Sounds good to me.
And I liked how in the challenge mode, I didn't experience this with the original version on the 360. You can actually have an AI companion fight with you, and you pick either Ryu or the three other characters that you can play as, and the two of you take on a challenge together. So you can have like Ryu with the nunchucks and Ryu with like the scythe, or you could have like two of the ladies, you can, etc. And it kind of really mixes things up and makes it more interesting. I thought I was going to kind of fall after doing the campaign, but I'm still going back for the challenges.
Are they actually any good? Are they really helping you, or are they just there?
I mean, they're there to take like attacks and aren't coming to you, so that is helpful in one regard. But they do a decent job, and you can switch between the two at any time you desire. So if you're not feeling it with whatever character you started with, you can switch to the other one with like pushing a like down button, very similar to switching in the Arcane Knight game with like Nightwing and Batman doing the tag team stuff. So it was just fun, and they really upped all the graphics. It's a beautiful game. Like it's very lovely to see. Like you're in New York, it's raining, got big monsters everywhere. Everything is very, very polished, and the combat feels just as I remembered it once I remembered it.
Very nice, very nice. It's one that I just never got into because it was on Xbox and not PlayStation, so I just never got around to playing those.
My buddy and I would nerd out on like the subtle differences between like God of War back in the day and Ninja Gaiden, and like how they're kind of similar, where they're supposed to be fast action, high combo games, but they feel completely different. And I was thinking too, just how, Arkham has like an attack, counter, stun, like rock, paper, scissors for their combat. God of War and even Spider-Man to a certain extent have a light, heavy, dodge, jump button type of scenario. So it was just kind of interesting going back to another game and how like far we've come with melee combat, just feeling a little bit easier. Even like the audio cues only, now they have visual cues. So if you're playing God of War, you'll get like a little red triangle from behind, like, hey, something's coming your way. That's not in this game. This game's like, you heard the rocket, you might as well just figure out where it's going to hit you or not. So it's just kind of interesting how things have kind of developed one way or the other. And I would be very curious to play, I guess 4 is coming out, I think, on Xbox soon. And I'm very curious if they keep the same old school style, or if they try to do like a generational leap like Santa Monica Studios did with the God of War franchise.
That'll be really interesting. Is it only? It's not only coming to Xbox. Is it? It's coming to everything.
Of course not. Everything's coming
Okay.
everywhere.
Yeah.
Hey, you just sometimes you never know.
It's published by Xbox.
Oh, right. That's a new thing I'll have to get
So
used to.
It's coming
gonna
to
be good.
Game Pass, but it's coming to everything else.
Okay.
Cool.
Yes.
Something we didn't talk about last week, and I don't want to really talk about it now, but I definitely think it should be mentioned. We were talking about, what all this means for Xbox and everybody else. And one of the things I brought up in the Discord after the Ninja Gaiden announcement was, I don't think I actually ever put any thought to, my focus has been so much on them as like the platform provider that I haven't really shifted to like, what does all this change mean for Xbox, like the publisher? Like, it's been very hard for Xbox for the last, console generation and a half to secure publishing deals or exclusivity. They've Phil said they have to pay for it like out the ass because their market share is so low.
Mhm.
Right. But if they're willing to put games like on everything, I imagine that extremely greases the wheels for them to work with like Japanese publisher, like literally like anybody that wants to like publish games, I imagine, would love to work with Xbox in that regard. If they're willing, if you don't have to sign up for exclusivity or timed exclusivity or anything like that, we'll put it on PlayStation 2. That's
also more potential buyers because there's more people with PlayStations out there, etc.
Yeah, that's something I didn't expect. And like what that does for Game Pass, right? So it's like I keep talking about what multi-platform and all the exclusives do for Game Pass, but I didn't really actually think about like, yeah, but they also may just throw like 10 or 15 more third-party games into Game Pass because they're publishing that content as like some super publisher. I didn't really think about that. And who knows, remains to be seen if that's where they're headed, but I don't think it's a coincidence that the moment they were like, yeah, Forza's going, we're multi-platform, they were like, yeah, and we're publishing 3 Ninja Gaiden games. It's like, oh shit, that's something different. So I don't know.
Yep.
We'll see.
I mean, I like the guy when you compare it to something like EA. I'm like, oh yeah, that makes so much sense. Oh, that just absolutely makes sense, especially with all the things they've been buying up and all the IP that they have.
You think about how Xbox has been trying to work with Atlas and Sega, and like the Yakuza series and stuff like that. Like they've been trying to be more of a player in that market, and I wonder if if this change of theirs, this business strategy, helps or hurts that any. We'll find out.
We will indeed. All right, Delvin. I need some Florida man talk in my life. I need a story. What you been up to? What's going on?
I don't want to go too
New
long
York.
because I know we had we got a time limit.
You take as long as you need.
No.
We don't have a time limit.
Donnie will be out at some point. But either way, you're getting a Florida man story. Yeah, I need this.
It's not a we.
Yeah,
it's not a we thing. Dev's running the show. It's not a we thing. It's I.
Florida man.
Well, we're done. I'm leaving.
Florida man in New York.
No, it was the
fish out of water.
It was an interesting trip, to say the least. I had fun for the most part. It was a little bit of hiccups here and there that kind of like put us straight on the trip, but I made it out safely. And I will say this.
There it is.
Hang on.
I knew that was going to smile. I have never been on a Spirit Airlines trip.
Really?
Oh,
Never, not once.
That's good. That means you're doing well in life.
I'm gonna say this. It may have been like the best trip I've been on in terms of flights. We left like early on both going there and coming back. We left early and got back there early. No hiccups. I didn't have any problems whatsoever. I was shocked. And every other flight I've flown on, something either happened on the way there or on the way back, and I was always late back.
Yeah, you're not as shocked as everybody hearing that. Hearing that.
I'm not shocked at all. Spirit is great. They're gonna get you there. It's not gonna be the most comfortable flight, but the staff is gonna be like, "What you need? I got you." But your seat's gonna be real uncomfortable. You're not gonna be able to fit nothing in the overhead compartment or underneath your chair.
Correct. That is also
but you gonna get where you gotta go.
if you don't have to fight somebody on the way there, I've got some videos I can send you of Spirit's customer service here in Atlanta. Might change your mind.
I mean, every airline has those videos, though, right? Of someone doing
Yeah,
something
but they're
crazy.
they're somewhat famous for it here. Like
okay, all
I
right.
have a couple
like
of
it's a
stories
little
about
bit
that,
different.
too, that been really interesting. Like, like Dev said, I didn't realize that Spirit's carry-on like section was like so small. So I bought the regular bag that I would take on a carry-on, and they were like, "That's not gonna fit." I'm like, "What are you talking about? It's not gonna fit. It fits on every other airline." Like, no, it doesn't fit.
Spirit is the airplane you take if you get on there with just you and your flip-flops, and that's it. Like you just get on the plane and sit down. That's it.
So I was like, so what I'm gonna do? But they were. I got this more and more thinking about more and more of the funny things that's happened on this flight, going to the flight. So this is all while I was going there. So this is some shady, funny shit. So as I say, like, what I'm gonna do with my bag? I paid for a carry-on, so can I just transfer it to just what I could just put inside the plane? So the guy says, "Hey, come here. This is what we're gonna do for you, right? You pay me $70, and you don't have to go through TSA." I'm like, "What?"
That's some shady shit right there.
Yeah,
that's their bonus. That's how they make up. Yeah,
we will get you to the front of the line, so you just get on the plane. We'll take care of your bag. Don't worry about the carry-on.
Don't worry about it.
Your bag. We'll take care. I said, but I got my I don't worry about that. She good. So
She good.
So I said, you know what? Fuck this. I will give you the $70. I watched. They like, we got you, bro. I watched as everybody in the line watched me go up in front of them like I'm the goddamn president of the United States. I ain't gonna lie, it felt pretty good. I got to the front of the line.
There's so many political analogies I can make right now.
Yes.
About how great that feel. Like, how great does that feel, Delvin? There's a lot of people go to the front of the line. Guess what, buddy? It ain't you.
Whatever. So it felt good this time.
That's what made it feel good. Usually, it's
So
not
this
me.
is what it's like to have money. Oh.
Yeah.
This is how this works. For $70,
Spirit Airlines making you feel rich for $70.
I can relate to that so much because there's only like 4 or 5 bougie moments in my entire life that's like where you get the little sample of what it could have been
Right.
like.
That's
Yeah.
You know,
So
and,
they got to
and
that
it's
spot
just
for the
like,
six
that's
flags.
amazing, man.
like, yeah, I got to the front of the line, got on the plane, and then I noticed about you. I was saying about the seats. I'm not a very tall man. I'm like 5'10",
What's this shit
5'11".
made of wood? What?
Like, this is like
It's like a cot. It's like a
It's
cot.
like an
Yeah.
old bleacher. Let's see, like what the fuck you pull this
Yeah,
out
it's
of?
like
We got
It's
these
like,
old
yeah.
mailbags on loan from the post office.
Yeah, it's the Ozark camping equipment you get from Walmart.
I
The
was like
Ozark.
stuffed in the chair. Like, oh, this is uncomfortable like a motherfucker. They don't have TVs on it. It's like a
Nope.
old flight from the 80s.
Guess what? Because it's an old plane from the 80s.
Yeah. They were-
Yes, sir.
I expected a black dude to come out with a pack of Newports in his shirt. I'm the captain, y'all. I'm gonna get y'all there.
They have the ashtrays in the armrest. This is Don Draper's plane.
Yeah. But the captain was like,
You
hey,
seen Catch Me If You Can? That was Leo's plane back in the 60s.
but I gotta give him credit. My man was like, hey, this plane is leaving on time, and we're getting there on time. And sure enough, like 10 minutes before it was time to leave, that plane was in the sky, and we got there like, I want to say 30 minutes early. We were supposed to get there like at close to 12. We got there like 11:30 to New York. So I was
Nice.
kind of hyped.
Yeah.
And then, it was a really interesting, because like when we got to New York, right, it wasn't snowing or nothing like that yet. Spoilers for everybody. I don't know if y'all know this. There was a snowstorm in New York.
Mhm.
Didn't know that.
It's typical.
I mean,
Yeah,
it's
it was
still winter.
Delvin, I don't know if you know this. It snows in New York. That's,
Yeah. But they
that's
were
a
like,
part of the point.
they were like, hey, there's a snowstorm in New York, so we're gonna be probably closing down stuff. Like, oh, really? That's not good. But I'm like, fuck this. I'm gonna have the time of my life. So what we did was going to the hotel. We hopped on the subway.
Yeah.
Yeah, going through all the little boroughs and stuff like that, which was pretty cool. Which was
Mhm.
pretty cool, you know. Also, a funny part of that was they took the lady, and like my girl asked the lady at the airport to explain it to her, and in typical New York fashion, she explained it in a way that nobody can understand. Yeah, you got to get on this A train and the B bus and all this. And she's like, I don't know what the fuck she was talking about. You got to wait till 4 stops, and we end up just like, when we got to the bus, she was confused about the bus. Like, you could buy like a pass to get on the bus, or you can use your card. So we just got on the bus, didn't pay for shit. Nobody was paying to get on the bus, which was funny. Like, cause there was like 2 sections of the bus, the front section, the back section. As soon as the bus opens up, everybody just hops on the bus. Nobody paid for shit. Like, oh, well, whatever. We got to the train station. It was pretty cool, but it's essentially just the Metro Rail down here. Because we have the Metro Rail, so it's the same thing as the subways in New York. Like, this is exactly the same thing as the Metro Rail. It's no different, except the Metro Rail's in the sky, and the trains in New York, the trains in New York are sometimes in the sky.
This is true.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the same thing with like going to the BART system, or even here in LA with our laughable subway system. There is
very, very laughable. It shouldn't even be called that.
Yeah, but
so fucking terrible.
Very similar. I mean, I guess New York just has this like, you know, it's famous, right? It's been in so many movies. It has so much like, you know, just mythos about it. So why it probably seems like a bigger deal and then you go there and you're like, yeah, it's a subway.
I don't think it's that. I think it's an island. That's the difference. It's not LA, it's not Atlanta, it's not Chicago, it's not Miami. It's an island. You can literally get anywhere via the, like, I can't say that I've rode the rails in New York, or I mean in LA or Miami, but I have been to Miami, and I'm fairly certain you can't get anywhere via the subway. You can get close, you can get nearby, but once you get there, you will then need another mode of transportation. And that's how it is here in Atlanta. Like, we have rail. It will like put you in a city. It ain't gonna get you where you need to go. That's the difference. In New York City, you can literally hop on the subway, hop off, and be basically where you need to be, or like walk a few blocks to it.
Correct. So we rode the subway to Manhattan, got to our hotel. Like, you're really early. You can't check in now, but you can, we'll take your bags and stuff.
Yarden says, I bet for $80 you could have drove the train.
Tell you what, man, this is what I'm going to do. $80.
Yeah, listen.
$80. You can drive this train.
It's the same guy.
Yeah.
All right, listen, man. Here's what I'm going to do. For $70, we're like,
got you, bro.
Ain't you the guy? No, I don't know what you're talking about. For $70.
That's my cousin. My cousin works for Spirit.
He's just got a hat on. He's like, man, aren't you the same? No, man, we never met. He gets to the hotel. Listen, for $70.
You can check in early.
We're going to let you check in early. You can't go to your room, but we'll take your bags.
This time the guy has a mustache for some reason.
Right, yeah.
It was funny because I don't know what it was, but everybody thought I was from New York. So they kept asking me questions about shit in New York. Like, I don't know what the fuck you talking about.
Who's everybody?
A lot of people. Because
just random strangers. You're walking by.
Random
and they're
strangers.
Like, hey.
Because what happened was, I didn't know this when I planned it out. There was a big event in Chinatown, which I'm going to lead to how we ended up going to Chinatown because the person I was with wanted to go to Chinatown for a little bit while waiting on our room, which was a huge mistake on my behalf. That was a terrible idea because I don't know if you know about Chinatown. They got a lot of bootleg shit there.
That's the fun.
Of course,
that's where everybody goes.
That's the draw.
That's the whole point.
It's the draw, but when you have a girl who likes that type of shit, a 30-minute trip to Chinatown becomes a 4-hour trip.
It can.
Guess
what? It can also become an 8-hour trip downtown. Is that they arrest people and shit for that too. You gotta be careful.
Yeah. So, so that like half of my day in New York was spent like chasing after little Asian people, like trying to get bags and shit.
That doesn't sound right.
That's what you were doing.
There's something racist about that.
Yeah, that didn't. Listen, look, Dad.
Yeah, that was
a little racist.
Kind of what happened.
A little racist.
Not gonna lie.
A little racist.
I don't know what the event was there, but it was fucking awesome. They like had the people there with the little dragon suits on and dancing, and they were shooting fireworks off and stuff. It was really cool.
Yeah, wasn't it New Year recently?
That's what it was?
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure the Chinese New Year. I mean, it's Year of the Snake, I believe. Like it just happened recently.
That's probably what it was.
Maybe it was the end.
I'm surprised Dev doesn't know.
I had no clue what it was.
Why the hell would I know that?
Dev hangs out with
Dev's-
ninjas.
Yeah,
Chinese
Dev's all in the culture. Yeah.
Japanese, not
Oh,
Chinese.
okay. It's,
Ghost of Dev.
yeah.
Yeah, so the Chinese New Year this year is January 29th through February 12th.
Okay, that's what it was then.
Yeah, so that's definitely it. Yeah, you would
It was
see all
like-
sorts of stuff. They go off, man.
It was a big ass party.
Yeah.
Like they was having a lot
Yeah.
of fun out there. It was really cool, like going to the sights and sounds, seeing them enjoying themselves and things like that. It was a really cool experience. And then just me walking around New York, it's very different than places I've been to. In terms
Yeah.
of like, it's just, I told Donnie and Dev this, it's like the cleanest, dirtiest place I've ever seen in my life. Because like
Nothing clean about New York.
I was just about to say,
At
I've been
all.
to New York 3
Wondering
times, and I
Nothing
would never
clean.
use the word clean.
Yeah.
because it's
Clean
like,
isn't about the
filthy.
experience.
they have like trash bags like on the fucking street. Like
Yeah.
Yes.
no
Yeah.
dumpster or anything in them.
Because then you
But they're
couldn't
like-
walk.
But they're
Right.
like
The
not
trash can,
organized.
there's a million people there.
That's very typical on the East Coast. There's a lot of places like that. Maryland's the
I
same
have
way. You don't
never
put your
seen that.
shit in a bag. It goes on the corner. Like
Yeah.
in a bag on the corner, not in a trash bin.
That is weird. I've never seen people do that. Why?
Because you're always from residential. You're not in a real city.
Yeah.
People don't have yards and sidewalks and shit to put bins on and roll.
But even like in
Carts
like I
do.
work in like a commercial
Well,
area,
No, because
and they have like
LA is a
dumpsters.
big ass city, and we still put them in an actual bin and roll it to
Yeah,
the street.
That's a residential thing.
even like in
Even
in these
downtown, they, in
Yeah,
apartments,
downtown,
they
like
have-
I'm in-
everything is
I'm in
still in
Manhattan.
bins.
Dude, in an
Everything
apartment,
is-
there's like 500, like how many units? There's 100 units, there's 500 people there. You got just bins everywhere. I doubt that.
Yeah,
yeah,
Yeah.
no,
yeah.
There's just
Everything
100
is a
bins
bin.
out in front of on the street.
it's not. It's like several
it's one big
large
dumpster.
bins.
Garbage
It's a large
day
big
sucks
dumpster.
driving in LA. Trust me.
It absolutely
We
does.
have,
So
we have like
dangerous.
large dumpsters.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say most like multi-family units have like some big, you know, industrial dumpster that everybody throws their trash into.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and that's what
And
I
then
thought I
that
would see
big-ass
stuff like
bin
that.
gets taken out. But
There's
in
no
New York,
room, man.
Not so much.
And New York, like real estate is everything. There's no room for that.
Yeah, so I was looking like I see why you motherfuckers got rats because Miami
Mhm.
rats are just eating right through that bag. Like fuck this.
Oh yeah, and I
Ain't
love
no
how
way.
Adams was like, "Oh, we're gonna make these rat-proof trash cans." No, you ain't.
The fuck does that mean?
Fuck up. Shut the
Fuck
fuck
you,
up.
the Riddler?
You
Yeah,
see
he's-
these rats?
Yeah.
My
These
lasting
rats are-
memory of like New York is that just everything smells like piss.
Yes.
It's just like every surface has been pissed on at some point. Like
It,
the whole
it wasn't
city.
that bad, and it wasn't that crowded because it was cold. So the streets.
So there was a
except-
layer on top of the piss. It was just water.
Correct.
again.
Correct.
Did you actually
So-
get to see snow, Delvin?
I'm gonna get to that part. So we finally leave Chinatown, and I'm like, I need because we've been there like since like 11 o'clock, and I'm hungry as fuck at this point. Like, we want to go eat. I want to go eat. She's like, want to go to a fancy restaurant. I'm like, fuck that. We're here in New York. New York, you don't go to like fancy places in New York. What we gonna do? Go to Nobu? Fuck
I
off.
mean, like
No.
you can, but yeah,
No.
I'm with you.
We want to eat what
But
the
you
what the
could.
people eat.
Go get a hot dog or a slice of pizza.
Yeah. So I'm like, you know what? I said, you know what? I never tried. Never tried a chopped cheese.
Hmm.
So I went to this big ass place, literally had a giant sign that said chopped cheese. And I went there, and that shit was delicious as fuck.
The
This
fuck
is
is
good.
a chopped cheese?
Yeah, I'm wondering the same thing.
It's almost like a cheesesteak.
Oh, ground beef, onions, cheese, seasoning, served on a roll, topped with lettuce and tomato.
Yes. Very good. Very, very good.
Yeah, it's
Highly
a bootleg of the Philly cheesesteak.
That's what I was saying. Yeah, really good.
It's like kind of hamburger. I've had
That
like
sounds
things like that,
delicious.
like
I
in like
love it.
pitas.
Yeah.
Yeah. So after we left there, because she didn't want nothing from there, because she was being bougie, and she went to this Japanese place that she didn't like, and she was like, we went back to the place, and then she's like, I'm cold, I don't want to go outside anymore. Like, well, you know what? You can stay your ass in the hotel room. I'm going out in these streets.
Delvin is for the streets.
So, because we were right by everything. And at this point, it was like 6 o'clock. I was annoyed because we spent so much time in Chinatown. Like, I want to see the city.
Because you're only there for a day, right?
Yeah,
Fucking
it is,
Yeah.
which would have been fine if we wouldn't have spent
No.
4 to 5 hours in Chinatown.
It
So
still would not have been fine.
it'd have been fine.
no, not even a little
So-
bit.
So we got a message, but it was like a storm advisory because we were gonna go to. I was gonna go to what is it called? Times Square to go to the Nintendo store,
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
but I'm like, this is gonna be closed. So I said, I'll just go to stuff around here.
I doubt
Right, they ain't closing.
it. Yeah, like I've been severely.
lot of stuff-
Snowstorm, winter storm advisory. Okay,
A lot of stuff was closing. That's why I said I don't think it'll be good. So what I ended up doing was I went to. Snurts might know this. Midtown Comics.
Oh yeah, I've heard of Midtown Comics. Yeah. What's his face? Matt Mackey was there recently signing comics and whatnot.
yep. Today, yeah.
Yeah.
Famous comic book shop in New York. Dope as fuck. A lot of cool shit in there. Bought my daughter Dog Man because we watched the movie and she really likes Dog Man.
Movie was great.
It was really good. Really good movie. Bought some other stuff. And I found something in there that we'll talk about on. I can tell it. Fuck it. I'll tell her what it is. I found not a super fan. I found one of those retro systems that can play
Retron.
SNES. Yeah, the Retron HD2, if I remember correctly,
Mm-hmm.
for like $40. So I bought that, and I bought a bunch of games, Famicom games to play.
Did that fit in your carry-on? Did you have to pay another $70 to get to the front of the line and get that back?
I was fine because I didn't. I was
Just
good.
put it in his jacket pocket.
Why did I
Yeah.
think those things were more expensive?
Because they
They are
are.
more
They're
expensive.
normally $80.
No, I'm looking them up. They're 40, 60,
Like,
70
they're like
bucks.
they're like.
But I
between
thought they were
50 and
like
70.
$400. I must have this confused with something else.
They have ones that are that price, but the one I got wasn't that
Yeah,
price.
the
This-
regular price for them, if you get them from the site, is $80.
yeah,
Yeah, they're on Amazon for $45.
Yeah.
But no, what I had in my head when he first sent it to me, I thought they were like $400.
no. I didn't pay for it.
Huh.
I got it because it was like $40. Like, oh, this is perfect.
Huh.
And I said,
That seems like a good price for that kind of, impulse
and
buy.
also-
Sure.
Since Donnie was on his whole N64 kick, it made me start thinking about I want to play some Famicom games because there's a lot of Famicom games that never came to the U.S.
I was thinking
And
of
I
the
was-
Super NT. My bad.
Ah, yes, that is
and
correct.
that is $700.
Yeah,
Oh wow.
I knew, when he sent me a picture, I was like, "Oh man, he went crazy." And then I looked up, I was like, "Oh, I must have this wrong."
yeah, yeah. So I got that, and I
Hey,
went to
I want to talk about that. Are you moving on, or are you talking about that?
you want to talk about it now?
I do want to talk about it. Have you
Oh,
turned it
it's a
on yet?
Shaq thing. It's a Shaq
Yes,
thing,
I did.
right?
I was gonna talk about it on Shaq. We can talk about it now.
We can talk
Not
about it on
only that-
Shaq. We can wait,
Not
but
only I
like
turn it on.
the thing,
I bought
did it come
games
with
for
2 controllers, the same controllers, or the Super Nintendo NES controller?
It came with an NES controller and a Super Nintendo controller.
Right. So the crazy thing about that, I don't even know if it's crazy, but it's just like a artifact to like a bygone era. You remember they used to do this like crazy shit with these consoles where they just they'd have a console and they'd be like, let's just throw a CD drive on that bit, or like, let's do a console that does Sega Genesis and Super Nintendo. Like they would just like fucking mishmash shit together. It kind of makes me wish that like Xbox and PlayStation would pull some shit off like that now,
Yes.
where it's like half PlayStation, half X. They're like, we're calling it the X Station or some shit. Like
Yeah.
that used to be a thing that happened a lot in the 80s and 90s. And then I guess it just wasn't very successful, but like it just went away. And I kind of hate that because these Frankenstein fucking things are kind of awesome to look at.
They are.
Yeah.
And that's one of the reasons why I got
Did
it.
Atari and like Jaguar did that? Like there's a bunch
Yeah,
of like these
Atari
old shit. They would
Jaguar.
just like mix mash shit. They're like, we'll just take your chip and put it in our chip and we'll have 2 drives and 2 different controller. Like what the fuck?
Yeah.
Frankenstein's monster.
Yeah. Yeah. It's pretty rad. I like it,
Yeah.
man.
I ordered a bunch of games for it that haven't got here yet, but I got some of them here right now. I can show you guys what I got.
You love to see it.
So like, how much are these games costing you? Are they a couple bucks each, or?
I'm on the
yeah,
Nintendo
it's
Store
inexpensive.
Twitter, just by the way, and I
Okay.
see no closures
No, sorry.
because they're pretty good about tweeting.
Well, I didn't go in the store. I wasn't driving. I wasn't going that far.
I'm pretty sure they were open during like a hurricane, so I was like positive they weren't. Like,
They're like Waffle House. They ain't
Kind of.
close.
Yeah,
They're like,
right.
hey, you want this Mario plushie?
I
You
didn't-
better get your ass over here.
I didn't want to take the risk because GameStop, when I went to the GameStop by there, which looked really cool, it was closed. I'm like, oh yeah, they're
You went to
starting.
Well,
GameStop.
that's totally different. They probably just closed the GameStop.
They were open. No, they were open when I got to New York. They were open,
And then they were
wide
closed
open.
by the time you left.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Let me go to New York to go to GameStop.
Right.
It was a very unique looking GameStop too. Like it didn't look
They
like
all
one of
are.
our GameStops. So, but let me show you guys.
It's not one of
I
us.
got Captain America, in the Avengers game that was on Super Nintendo,
Oh, sure.
which was a really cool game.
Was it?
I also got
Yeah.
arcade version.
Yeah. It was not one of the greatest brawlers. I think that's one of the ones where you do the special, you lose health.
That is correct.
Yeah. That's
I
a
got-
great game mechanic. So glad we got rid of that one.
Super fun, right?
Super
Yeah.
fun.
Dragon Quest
Do
4.
cool shit and die.
Yeah, shit, basically. That is, yeah, that was the formula. How can we get these kids to put another quarter? I know. We'll have basic moves take their health away.
Correct. Now this one, can y'all figure out what this one is? Let me show you.
I can't see
A
it.
little bit of glare. Looks like Mario.
Mario
Yeah,
2: The
it's-
Lost Levels.
You're close.
Mario
Uh-huh.
All Stars
Correct. This is
Ah.
Super Mario All Stars.
for the Famicom.
You bought it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you bought Japanese carts.
Nice.
Did you do those on purpose or you just find them?
Yeah, I wanted Famicom games. I specifically wanted to play Super Famicom games,
Cool.
and I got a bunch more coming in because they only like I bought these. These I bought off of eBay, and they were all like $5-10 each.
I was gonna say, are they cheap like the N64?
Yes.
Because I
Yeah.
saved a shit ton buying N64 games instead, or buying Japanese N64 carts instead of American.
Yeah, they're way cheaper.
Yeah.
And I got this one for you anime fans. Yu Hakusho.
Oh,
Yeah.
sure.
Oh wow.
And I
I
got
wonder if
Dragon
that's
Ball. One of the Dragon Ball games coming in. think tomorrow.
Nice.
Solid.
I got Sailor Moon coming. I got a bunch of stuff coming in.
Did you get the boxes?
I don't know if I'm excited about Sailor Moon, but good for you,
Yeah.
champ.
I'm about as excited about Sailor Moon as I am for that Captain America game.
Unless it's uncensored Sailor Moon.
Did you get boxes?
No. Boxes cost a little bit more, but if I find something
but
that have
they're
like
worth
decent
it.
prices, I'm gonna get the boxes.
The Link to the Past box is pretty great.
I saw that one.
Yeah.
I had that for so long until I didn't.
I want a lot of like side scroller beat 'em up games.
Yes.
The
That's what I'm
Capcom
looking-
Beat 'em Up collection
Yes.
exists just for you.
Especially the ones that only came out in Japan.
Yeah, those could be fun. Who knows? I'm
Bunch
just
of-
always a fan of the side scroller brawlers. Always.
Me too.
Bunch of Ultraman games.
Yeah. That's why I got the Sailor Moon game. I think the Sailor Moon game is a side scroller beat 'em up.
I believe so. If it's the one that I'm thinking of,
Yes.
yeah, it does look like fun. I think you can pick the different characters too. So,
Yes.
from what I saw in some screenshots, I follow some like retro account on one of the socials, and every once in a while they just play like, here's gameplay from this old ass game. I'm like, wow, thank you. It made my
they
day a
also
little
had
bit better.
A terrible Transformers game that came out on Famicom that I'm gonna try. I ordered it for like $3.
Do you have the Capcom Beat 'em Up bundle?
Yes, for
Okay.
PS4.
Okay. Just making sure.
I don't know if I do.
It's a good collection.
Yeah,
I
it's
might
really
have to
good.
get that.
I don't. That's for sure.
Well, let me land the plane here because this is the funny part. What happened? So, we get to the point where we have our fun. No, not that way. So it's
With the
late at
bum
night
knee and
now.
everything?
Huh? Yeah, man. I work engine, baby.
I work engines.
He's not going to make it to he's going to be the injury list by the time the second gets here.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. Physically unable to perform list. That's what he's on. He's on the
Yeah,
pup
he's
list.
going to be on the pup list.
Nah, I can play hurt.
She'd be like, it's okay. We can take a break, Delvin.
Gotta go hard to go.
Keep me in, coach. Keep me in, coach.
You gotta
I
go
got
out
it.
go for a championship, baby.
We
He
just drink
hits
this
like
orange juice
he
real
just
quick.
hits like the Gatorade.
Yeah,
He's
the
just like,
Gatorade. Yeah.
But yeah, man. After I left the comic book shop, it started snowing, and I thought it was awesome. I was excited, man. And I never experienced snow before, so I just stayed out in the snow, just walking around New York for like
Delvin out there in his Uggs making snow angels and shit. like some Christmas Hallmark movie. He's just like
I had on-
spinning under the
yeah,
snow.
yeah. The camera spins with.
I,
it,
I had
right?
on Timberlands.
Not realizing it's just filthy as hell.
I didn't.
Meanwhile,
care.
there's a
I was-
rat fucking another rat next to a homeless guy
I
jerking
was-
off into a trash can.
I was excited. It started snowing. I was walking these streets. I went and got me some cheesecake. That shit was
Nice.
good as fuck, boy.
Good call.
It
That's
was
good.
really good.
Yeah.
I don't know what the fuck they be giving us here, but in New York, that cheesecake is different.
Yes.
Fact.
That shit was good. I'm like, ooh.
Where did you get it from?
It was, I think it's called New York's Best Diner or some shit like that in Manhattan.
Sure, it's fine.
It's
That
some
was one of the
bodega.
things that we did go fancy for. Is we went to one of the more upscale hotels and the inn place, and we got desserts. It's a nice way to go out.
Everything was cheap down there, man. My flight was like $100.
It's spirit.
Yeah.
It was like
Right.
$200
This
for both
is
of us
why
to fly.
people fly Spirit, sir.
Yeah, I was like, this is great. And I
It's
think
not
my hotel-
luxury. We'll get you there. That's about it.
It's cargo. It's
Yeah,
freight.
And my hotel was
I have
like
flown many a Spirit
$100
flights.
too. It was like right in the middle of Manhattan. I was good. I was straight. I had a view of the Hudson River, which is cool. Like, oh, that's where they bury the bodies at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
so
yeah.
that's what happened in the Penguin. That's where they were killing the people at.
Very nice.
But
Yeah, Yarden,
so-
you're right. He could have gone to Cheesecake Factory and
No.
would have known the better.
No, I know the difference.
I've never been to Cheesecake Factory.
It's
It's
okay.
okay.
It's,
It's okay.
I gotta feel like I gotta do. I love cheesecake.
It's good cheesecake.
And
It's
got
not
lots
like-
of different types of
Yeah,
cheesecake.
like I
that's for
love
sure.
cheesecake, and I've never been.
it's a decent
It's-
restaurant. They got like it's
Yeah.
just easy to make fun of.
They
because
have something for everyone. That
That's just
fucking
it. That menu
is
is-
ridiculous.
The
It's
thing about it
insane.
is, it's the McDonald's of like cheesecakes, essentially.
Sure, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
What does that
You're gonna
mean?
get a
but
Because
because like I feel
Does
like
that mean you can
Denny's-
like
Denny's
fat?
and
Does that mean you can
McDonald's, I see,
drive
but I
up and
don't-
get one for like $1? Like, what does that mean?
No,
What's the
it's just-
analogy?
It's just the staple of McDonald's is everywhere. McDonald's is the McDonald's burgers.
Is
are
Cheesecake
McDonald's burgers.
Factory everywhere?
no,
It's a
no, it's
chain.
not.
That's what
Because
I'm
I don't
thinking.
have
I'm like,
one
it's a
here.
lot of
and it
Yeah, I'm like,
pisses
it's
us
not.
off.
That's I think that's why I've never gone
It's a
to it. Is
lot of
I'm
places.
fairly certain that
It
it's like
is
kind of
like-
far away from me.
And their cheesecake is their cheesecake. It's like, it's what it is. It is what it is.
There are a
It's
lot,
amazing.
and I
Is it
would
not
say
good?
that- No, their cheesecake is good, and they
fine.
have a bunch of different
It's
flavors.
it's
They
not
have
hard to.
types.
McDonald's is the same way. The burger's good, but I wouldn't say it's the best burger in the world. It's just a burger. It's the staple
Yeah,
of burgers.
but I wouldn't say it's just a cheesecake.
It's just a cheesecake.
Yeah,
They
the
have different
nearest one to
flavors.
me is like, it's like 30 minutes away.
That's nice. The nearest
That's-
one to me is like 2 hours away.
You live in Los Angeles, everything's 2 hours away.
That's
In
facts.
California.
I don't live in Los Angeles, sir. I live in
Same thing.
Bakersfield.
Oh yeah, I
live in
forgot you
Los
live in like the
Angeles.
mountains.
Listen, you white, you Ben Affleck.
Exactly.
Okay.
Facts.
These motherfuckers
Fact.
here, nerds.
Let me
The
tell you
closest
about this.
cheesecake to me is in the marina, and that's like 20-30 minutes away, to be honest.
I just Googled it for the first time ever. There's 3 of them in Atlanta.
My point proven. Like, I said, they're
Three
everywhere.
is not a lot. That's
That
not
is a
that's not a
lot.
lot. No, it's not.
I mean, it's still
How
a
many-
chain, though. It's not as big as some other chains.
Yeah.
When I say Atlanta, I mean
Yeah,
the greater metro.
McDonald's comparison
like
is
the
weird.
region Atlanta.
Who the fuck is like, hey, I need a cheesecake factory right next to me? Like, you know what I got a crave for? Cheesecake. That's a lot
Uh,
of cheesecake factory.
That's
My
me.
mom
like-
would have that
That's,
craving a
that's
lot.
me like once a month, man.
That's my wife. She is hell bent on
Yeah, I love some
us
cheesecake.
getting a cheesecake factory.
I
out
like
here because she
cheesecake, but I'm
misses
not
it
gonna
so
be
much.
like getting cheesecake every day.
I feel bad for you. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's
Why
unfortunate.
sex
Because
me?
if I could have cheesecake every day, it's
Every
like
day?
you be Batman, you be
Dude,
Batman. If you could have
100%.
cheesecake every day,
You know what I
have
love?
cheesecake
You know what
every
I
day.
love? Cheesecake for breakfast.
It's
Sure.
delicious.
That's not
With like a cup of coffee, like fucking hey man, that is
It
a
is good
great
with a cup of
start to the
coffee.
day, man.
I do the same
I'm
thing with
sorry.
That's
cherry
high
pie.
life, Delvin.
I'm
That's like
slowly starting to realize why all my cast members on this show are gonna be dying at young ages.
Yes.
Like, can we eat cheesecake?
I don't know what you're
7
fucking talking about. I'm gonna live forever.
All right, but what are you
Goddamn
eating,
right.
Delvin? Sugary cereal, Pop Tarts? I mean, I would
Nothing.
rather have
Right.
a
I
slice
drink a
of cherry
goddamn
pie
coffee like a man
than,
snurks,
than a
black,
than a Pop
like my
Tart.
soul.
Yeah, no, I like my coffee black. as well.
Like my women.
Yes, same.
Yeah, the closest Cheesecake Factory to me is an hour and 19 minutes away.
You don't count.
It's ridiculous.
Actually,
It makes me sad. Santa Clarita.
you know,
Maybe I'll
you
ask
have
my
to
wife
make
if
a
she wants
day
to
of
go
it,
for
you know?
Valentine's. We were gonna do sushi, but maybe I'll be like, hey, do you want to go to Cheesecake? I guess that's probably a bad idea for Valentine's, right? There's probably a lot of people there.
They took me there on my birthday multiple times. I've been taking the Cheesecake Factory on my birthday. That's not a bad idea. Good
I should
food.
go.
You should. Yeah.
Oh, let me tell you
I
about
like a
this
good
bullshit.
cheesecake.
Let me ask you people a question.
Mm-hmm.
You people.
You people. What do you
That was
mean, you
funny.
people?
I was going to say
people.
that too,
So,
Donnie. I was thinking
You're on a
that.
plane. You're getting ready to get on a plane, right?
Not me.
Uh-huh.
And you happen to
I am
be
actually,
in
yes.
the area where the emergency exit and stuff's at, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So they ask you the question that they always ask you.
Yeah. Are you prepared to
something
help
happens-
everybody?
What do you say?
Absolutely
Yes.
No.
No, you don't say that.
not. I do.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I'm not.
Absolutely
Move me.
not. Like
Move
absolutely,
me.
absolutely,
let me tell you what happened.
fucking not.
Well, let me tell you what
Mhm.
happened. Because
Give
the
a fuck
plane
about
was
these people.
full,
These people that jump into the aisle when we try to land. You want me to help these fucking monsters? Absolutely
Right.
not.
Yeah, they
because
do
the
like to
plane
stand
was
up before the
full,
flight.
I hate that
Yeah.
Before we
Let me
even
tell you-
land, they're like,
Yeah.
Like you're standing up, like, bro.
they just
Yeah.
put their
Let me
arms so
order
you can't
this.
get like, yeah, it's like fucking calm down.
Let me explain what happened.
Dropping
Because
fucking
the
luggage on
plane
your
was
head.
full, and the person I with said, "No, I am not helping." They almost kicked us off the goddamn plane. Like,
Oh.
yeah, I guess you
I've
can't fly.
never had that happen ever.
Yeah,
Usually someone just
Usually
switches seats.
switch. Yeah, they just.
Yeah.
Usually,
they were
so
like-
I've only sat there once, and I ordered the seat for extra leg room, and the lady was like, "So this is the spot," and I was like, "Yeah, I'm not doing that." And she was like, "I'll just tell him you said yes." I was like, "That's fine."
that's
Yeah.
why they said that.
like that,
Yeah,
like
you
it was
say no.
not
Yeah.
a deal. It
Yeah.
wasn't an actual thing that we actually dealt with.
They were like, "No."
Well, you know, planes weren't falling out the sky then like they are now.
I'm surprised
They were
you
like-
two are
they were
like,
like-
I can't wait to get on. I'm like, y'all are fucking risking it every day.
Also,
They were
like,
no,
what are the real repercussions
if
of that?
you
You're going to
say
say
no,
yes and you just
you
let people
can't
die?
fly.
Yeah, I will. Like,
You-
like
Like we're all going down with this ship. Sorry.
I could see Donnie and Dev opening the door, jumping out, and be like, "Later, suckers."
That's
All
exactly
you
it.
gotta say is,
I'm like,
yes,
listen, I am the designated survivor. Let me get my parachute on. I'm going to show you how to buy.
Basically.
Fuck y'all.
Good luck, everybody.
They are not
Bye,
holding
Daddy.
the oath.
Figure it out.
You swear the Bible. Just lie.
I didn't sign up for this.
They're like,
I told you no.
I don't have to lie about it. Yeah, just no. Yeah, just no.
lie. So I can
We're
get
going to have
home.
to ask you to switch seats. I ain't doing that either.
I still want to hear the repercussions, though. Like, okay, ladies and gentlemen of the juror, this gentleman agreed. He said yes. I will open
Right.
the door and help.
Do they have a
the people."
contract? Do they
Like, no,
sign
you know what I
anything?
mean? Like, are they
no,
like-
I didn't say that.
So that,
What the fuck
like,
you talking about?
Spirit Airlines
That
is
agreement
no
is
longer
digital.
responsible.
Also, let's keep it 100.
I need
If a
2
plane
forms
is
of ID.
going down, not gonna make it anyway. Fucking like Ric Flair, gonna fucking die. No matter if I open that door or not, I'm dead. It's a plane.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's facts.
Yeah. Fuck are they gonna do? Oh, he said he was gonna open the door. Well, too bad. We're all dead.
I hope you have a good song in the headphone.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like, I hope it was a good movie.
Hey, Sarah,
We're going down to Ace. Go and give it to you.
Whatever will
You're right.
be, will be.
Yeah. You lie. You get the leg room and you lie. That's what
Right.
you do.
Right, 100%.
Fuck, I'm gonna start telling the truth now for. Fuck that. I'm gonna be honest with the airline people I don't know. Fuck out of here. I don't know you, bitch.
Funny.
Hey, your wife had to. Yeah, I said your wife. Your girlfriend had the right idea. She said, "No, I'm not doing that."
Yeah. I see, and I see it. I did it.
She said, "I'm not lying. I'm not here for
And
these."
then they pulled us off the plane. Like, hey, look, they're gonna ask you again. I said, you better goddamn say yes.
Gotta say yes.
'Cause if I- 'cause
That's
if I
wild.
have to stay in
They
fucking New
pulled
York,
y'all off the plane and said,
Yes.
That's
"I'm gonna
wild.
give
They
you-
legit
look,
asked me, and
I'm
the
gonna
lady
give you
was
a
like,
second
"That's fine."
chance to make this right."
Yes.
Yeah,
$70.
my stewardess was like, "It's
For
fine. I'll just tell her I said
$70,
yes."
I'll let you.
For said the guy comes back.
Hey, $70 more. We can just tell them you said yes.
Yeah, they were like, yo, they pulled me to
For
settle.
$70, you can bypass this option that comes with it.
Yeah, they were like, look, she has to say yes, or we can't let you fly.
Damn.
I'm like, yo, I'm getting the fuck out of New York.
Wow.
I still call their bluff. Nobody's gonna come help Spirit. They can't call cop. Like nobody's fucking coming. Like I'm like, yeah, right. And what, like you and what army? Okay, if you don't get this fucking shit in the air, let's go.
The U.S.
The
Marshal
reality
stands
is,
up.
Yeah,
it's a Spirit plane. It's probably gonna actually just land. It's not even gonna
Right.
crash. It's
The
gonna
US
crash and be totally fine because it's made of asbestos.
the fucking the marshal's gonna get the call. Spirit's
Yeah,
got a
that's what I was
problem. He's
wondering.
like, yeah, they do. Like he's like,
Yeah.
you tell them I'm off. I don't give a fuck.
What is there? Some narc behind the seat too? Like I didn't hear him say yes. I didn't hear him say yes. I'm reporting this to their supervisor.
That
I
might be
imagine
true.
that would happen to you.
Yeah, that
definitely
might be
happened.
true. That's-
There's definitely a Karen back there.
Yeah, that's
ear
what I'm
hustling,
thinking.
just waiting.
Mhm.
Trying to eat a potato salad with raisins in it. You know.
Oh,
That nasty bitch. Ugh.
Wow.
God.
All right, Delvin, you survived New York. You made it back.
Yeah.
You saw some snow. Good for you.
Sat next to a nice Jewish man. Very nice
That
guy.
makes sense for some reason. I don't know
Yeah,
why. It just does.
sounds right.
He,
Yeah.
he-
little racist.
Tracks.
he was Jewish. He had on the hat and everything.
He said Jew.
It's
That
just,
the
the
hat-
way you,
Bro.
it's just the way you say it.
Do you know what the hat is? Can you call it's a yarmulke? Can you call
No,
it
no,
that?
it wasn't a yarmulke.
No, he was like full on Orthodox with the
Correct.
with the
Okay.
braids. Yeah.
Because see, I know this
Very nice.
because my girl asked him, "Was he Amish?"
She's like,
Ah.
what's wrong? She's like, what's wrong with your hair?
She asked, "Was he Amish?" And she's like, "No,
How'd you
I'm
get
Jewish."
those curls to stay so
Yeah.
curly?
How do you get it to
She's like-
stay like that?
And then she was like, "I have so many questions," and he was like, "My child, you can ask whatever you want to." And they had a conversation. Well, I played AEW Fight Forever, baby. Like, yeah, I'm playing by Steve.
I
Baby.
am checking out.
Yeah. Now listen, God, if you take it, hey, that's on you.
No, there's
He could've
nothing
been
more
flirt-
than
He could have been flirting with her for all I know. I was playing as Kenny Omega. I didn't care.
I mean, it's my experience that people are heavily into the faith of the Jewish people, like love nothing more than talking about their faith.
Yes.
Absolutely.
My dad converted to the Jewish faith, and every time I met somebody who went to the same temple as him, all they would talk about is the temple and the faith. And I'm just kind of like, I'm just here to have tuna salad sandwich and support my father.
Yeah.
Right.
And for clarification, my girl is part Jewish.
Ah, okay.
So that's why she had questions. So like, I don't care.
She's part Jewish. How does that work?
Does that
She
explain
goes
the
to temple
steak
on
thing?
Saturday and church on Sunday.
Probably.
Does that explain the steak thing?
Pretty much.
So she's not a practicing, she doesn't practice the religion.
Correct.
So
Her
how are you
mother-
part? See, this is always so confusing to me. Like, how are you part Jewish? Like, does this make any sense? Either you are or
But
you
like
aren't.
Drake.
It's either you're
Like
practicing.
Drake.
Yeah, one of her parents or
mother.
grandparents are Jewish.
Correct. Her mother.
Yeah,
So Jewish is a race, not a
Yes,
culture or
it's
religion.
both. It's both.
It's both.
This
Yeah,
is a
because
race
my dad
and a
was not
religion.
part of the Jewish race, but he was part of
He
the
converted
Jewish
to
faith,
Judaism.
right?
Yeah.
Versus his friend Gershom, who is an Israeli, is
Dope name.
yeah, it is a dope name. He's actually a
He's,
writer.
he's,
too.
he's, he's Israeli.
Yeah, no, so he's Jewish. you
That's
know,
nationality.
because that's his
See?
nationality. But I'm saying like he's part of the Jewish people. You
Well,
know,
Oh, I just love
right,
poking
like-
fun at this all the
but-
time. I
That-
do it
No,
all
it's
the
Damn,
weird.
showing
It's
us
still
that
weird.
Black people don't know shit.
it's
No,
it
I
is
know
one
it
of
all.
those-
I just growing up in LA, I love to just poke at this argument and just watch them talk forever. It is hilarious.
Oh, and I always love the various degrees of too, because some of my friends are Jewish, but like they would talk about like we're there at the Red Lobsters to eat shellfish, you know. They're like, let's put a little bacon on that shrimp, you know.
Yeah.
And then I meet the
Good
other
stuff.
folks, and they're you know they're a little bit more practicing the smaller stuff.
Fun
Very
trip.
nice. Good, you made it back. You're alive. That's what's really important.
And more importantly, I got it.
I'm glad you had a fun
Okay.
trip. I enjoyed my couple of days in Manhattan years ago in my early 20s, and I do kind of want to go back, especially now that like I'm a little bit older and I know what I like and I know what I want. It could be fun to go see things. Like we got to see Spam-A-Lot, and that was like the highlight of the trip, in my opinion. that, and like we went to some basement and ate like a really delicious steak. It was like the most suspect thing in my mind ever. I'm like, you're telling me to go down these dark stairs and like we're
There
gonna
was
go
a lot
through
of
that
places
door,
like that in Manhattan.
and then we're gonna go get like a high class like steak, and sure enough, we did.
I did learn something about myself that I probably already knew. I think I like going on trips by myself.
It's a lot of
Like,
fun.
I don't think I want to go on trips with other people anymore. Like I've come to the conclusion, like, yo, I'd rather do this by myself. Where I can just get up, do what I want to do, don't have to worry about anybody else's timetable or their feelings or where they want to go. Just go
I do
where the
that
fuck
anyway.
I want to go.
Johnny's like,
all right, I'm going this way. I'll see you guys.
I do that with or without people. Like that's happening anyway.
I'm very much the same as Johnny. Like, all right, y'all can have your plans. I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go do this. I'm gonna eat this at this time because y'all
my
can't
in-laws hate
figure out
me.
what you want.
My in-laws hate me. I just get up and leave. We'd be all in the house. I just like get and leave. Like get in the car. Just like, where's it go? I don't know.
Johnny's on Johnny time.
I used to do that when I
1000%.
was married.
I don't fuck around with my vacation time. I am not going to spend it hassling over itineraries or planning. Like fuck that. It is sacred time.
I like to
was
plan
married.
like 3 or 4 things for a trip, and that's it. Everything else is just kind of, we'll figure it out when we're there. We'll figure out what sounds good.
But back when I was married, right, we would have Thanksgiving dinner at my in-laws' house, and they all spoke Spanish. Like only like the younger ones spoke English and stuff like that. So every Thanksgiving, I would go over there. I would say hi, and I would just leave. Just leave and go out. Black, not what is it? Well, back when they
Friday.
had Black Friday on Thursday.
Oh, okay. That's what, like,
So Black.
he's like, I just leave. I just
Where
go
you
and
going
black.
with
Like, whoa.
Where you going with
I
this?
just go blackety black black.
Yo, I would just go to like fucking stores and shit. Like they're like, why did you leave? Because no one fucking speaks English. Who the fuck am I gonna talk to?
Oh,
Except
that's
my
fair
kids.
That
enough.
would definitely be uncomfortable. I'd be like,
And
y'all
my
gotta
kids,
speak English.
and my kids are talking to their cousins who are the same age as them. Like, all right, I'm out. Have fun. I leave.
I mean,
Go
you
to
said
Dollar
hi, you
Tree-
showed up. I mean, you
Dollar
could have
General,
ghosted them
Family Dollar.
all together instead. You know, at least you showed up and said hi.
Yeah.
I showed up, said hi.
I'm dropping y'all off. I'm not even going in. I don't.
Right.
I
speak
come back when the
language.
turkey's ready.
Peace.
When the turkey's ready, I come back. All right.
Oh.
Surprised they had turkey.
Well, they had more than turkey. They had a turkey. They had a ham. They had a hen.
Look,
They had
look.
a bunch of shit.
Just give me the tamales. Where
That's
the
what I was
tamales?
thinking. Tamales. Yeah, where are
They
the
didn't
tamales?
have tamales for some reason.
What the
Okay.
f-
That's so
Fail.
strange because I would always get tamales from a couple of my Latina coworkers back in the day. and
Absolutely.
it's delicious.
Maybe it's
Have you
just
ever
an
had
LA thing.
cocayo?
I don't know.
No, that does
It's
not
like
sound
a-
familiar.
It's like a chocolatey drink that they make. And I say that shit tastes like dirt.
Oh.
But they always have like a big ass picture of that. There for people to drink. I'm like, I don't want that.
It just sounds like some kind of like weird like chocolate and water mix powder like mix, you know?
Kinda.
That's it.
I mean,
like cold hot chocolate, you know?
not the abuelita. Huh? Not that.
Nah.
That's unfortunate. Oh well. Donnie, do you want to talk about anything, or do you want to just jump into the news? Yeah, I ain't got nothing to talk about. Well, I won a fatherhood award this weekend, which was really nice. Totally unexpected.
Oh, congrats.
Wife.
How you win a fatherhood award?
They
Oh,
give you
yeah,
a
give
award.
a father that other people who don't know you just say, hey, you know what? Give him Father of the Year.
So the Phi Beta Sigma like fraternity chapter out here, they do it every year where they have they have people who are nominated, and from those nominees they pick several people who win this Fatherhood of the Year award. And I happened to be, my wife submitted one on my behalf. I had no idea. My pastor is also part of the sorority. He's a Sigma, and I happened to win an award, and it was really cool. It's really, really cool.
Nice. That's a cool surprise.
Yeah. I was
Yes,
shocked.
do you like it? It was the chocolate cinnamon mix.
That doesn't make it sound any better. Sorry.
Yeah, especially if it tastes like dirt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It tastes like dirt. I didn't like it. I did not like it.
All right.
So did
well,
they just like submit your name like they did with Beyonce and the country album? And did you act surprised when you won?
Well, I was told that I was winning before we went, but it was
They
whole
told
lot.
Beyonce too. They definitely told her, like, hey, you're winning this award, so you might want to show up this time.
Yeah. It was a whole like thing that my wife had written and my kids had also written, and then my pastor read it, and it was a really nice experience. So
Super excited that your son was so happy to see that you won. He seemed
that
super
dude,
enthusiastic.
oh my God.
He was
That
checked
little
out.
Negro was
Like-
knocked out. We got there, we had because of breakfast. So we had
It was
breakfast.
like weekend at Bernie's.
Mm. He's
They had this kid just propped
coloring
up. He's
in.
like, "Oh."
He decided right before it's time for me to go up and get the award and we take pictures, he's like, I'm going to sleep. And he was knocked out. So
Did
we're
he
like, you know
snore?
what, son? No, he didn't snore. There
Damn,
was no snoring, but he was
that would have been the
unconscious.
killer.
Right.
Yeah.
Dev's up there.
Isn't
They're
that
like,
something to
speed,
sleep?
speed, speed. Kids are just like,
Yeah. We had to capture that moment. Like, you were going to be embarrassed for your life for this. We're not letting you get away with this. You are asleep and we're taking pictures.
you,
You little.
him.
I also want him to talk in his sleep and be like, Dad, don't.
Please don't.
We're going to
sorry.
receive that award. And we don't know what this is about here, but
Man,
I didn't
You
mean
are
to
a
do
great
that to
dad.
the cat.
You're a great father. I tell you that all the time. You were like Mr. Mom. You know,
Yeah,
Dev was
no,
always with the kids.
That's still good though to be recognized by your peers. and loved
100%.
ones. So
Yeah,
that's awesome.
100%.
well, thank you. Speaking of which, my son is in here bugging me now for things. What do you need?
Listen, motherfucker, I told you.
What do you need?
Did you enjoy that?
why did you fall asleep on your damn thing? His big moment.
He said, "Why you fall asleep in my award ceremony? Why'd you fall asleep in my award ceremony?
Look at that grin.
You tell the truth, it was boring.
You was tired?
Wasn't
It
no
was
boring.
boring. Oh. He said
I agree.
everybody was talking. It was boring. He fell asleep.
Yeah. that
Not
makes
enough
sense.
Sonic.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you need?
7 out of 10. Not enough Sonic.
I just told you. Go. No. Go. Go.
You know, I'm gonna get this screen time.
Close the door. Good Lord.
That was perfect
Shut
timing.
my
though.
door.
We were talking about the award. And
Yeah,
comes
he
in,
just
like,
Pops in.
magic,
He heard his name.
right? He's like
Auto
they must-
magically.
Dev's just like Elon.
Yeah.
Oh,
Wow. Well, I hope
Yeah.
not. Let's
Yeah.
rephrase
You're
that.
not
I
the
hope
president. You gotta go.
I'm going to use my child as a human shield. That'll be great.
Name your child dumbass names like XYZ BB
Yeah.
UPS. This is my
Right.
fourth child.
Are those coordinates or is that a name?
If my dad named me some shit like that, as soon as I turn 18, I'm beating the fuck out of him. Yo,
And then I'm changing my name to Bob. Very simple. B-O-B. Everybody can
Yeah.
pronounce Bob.
you getting fucked up, Dad. You know that right now.
Terrible. Terrible. All right, Donnie. Let's get into the news.
State of play today. That's the fun. State of play day.
Yeah, tell me about it. Tell me about it.
PlayStation had a presentation. It was almost an hour long where they showed 31 video games.
Damn, it's
do you guys want me
31?
to? Do you want me to read them off like one at a time and talk about them, or do you want me to like read them off in batches?
Just read off the main ones that anybody cares about. Because
What's the
I'm quite
best
sure they'll come out
thing?
31 games.
Yeah, see, I think everybody probably cares about different ones in this list.
I
All
would just go
31?
by like just read off 5, and if there's one in that
There we
5
go.
you want to talk about,
That's what I
we
usually
can.
do with Shaq, is I'll group them. So
We'll raise our
the show,
hand or whatever if we want to
the
talk
show
about it.
kicked off with Monster Hunter Wilds, which comes out later this month. If you pre-order, you get some extra armor. Shinobi Art of the Vengeance, which launches in August. Sonic Racing Cross Worlds, which launches, or no, gets a network test on the 21st. Digimon Story Time Stranger, and then Lost Soul Aside. Anybody have comments on those?
No.
Shinobi looks amazing. It's by the
Shinobi
same
looks
people
good.
Who were doing the Streets of Rage art style. So if you were a fan of the hand drawn, cell shaded,
So I was thinking like Okami. It's definitely got the Okami look.
but I
Yeah, how
wonder.
does Shinobi look?
I wonder, is this supposed to be like a Metrovania game or is it just like a side scroller action game? I couldn't really figure that out from the trailer alone.
Those lines have been blurred heavily in the
Right?
last 7, 8 years. So
Because it didn't give me the Prince of Persia
I'm
vibes.
just gonna say like Yesh. I think it's probably just
Maybe.
side scroller.
Because if it's more of just like a side scroller action thing, and you just go from like level to level, I might
Like
be
the
more
original Shinobi.
inclined.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
that's
feel like-
that's
I
Shinobi.
feel like
That's,
it might be more Metroidvania because, like, looking at the move sets,
That's
like,
what I'm thinking, man. That's what I'm thinking. That's why I'm like,
looks like
Yeah.
you need moves to
Good
do
point.
other things, so it's probably gonna have some backtracking Metroidvania style stuff.
you know, they
but-
show him the
That's
climbing up the
Shinobi.
claws, and then they show him with the little like rope with the dart thing, the scorpion weapon. You know, but the art style looks amazing. It looks so pretty.
looks very nice. Cannot wait to play it on my Switch. It's gonna be right at home. I'm all on Shinobi. Anything else?
No,
Nothing?
not, at
Not
all. Not
Digimon?
even a little bit.
I didn't
Why?
watch this
Digimon opened up like fucking Shin Megami Tensei. It's like, in a world of diabolical destruction and apocalypse.
shit. Did they play the
But
song?
it-
Digimon. I was like,
About
what the
Digimon.
fuck? like, goodness
I like the
gracious.
cartoon show.
Well, I
That
mean, you
cartoon
might
show
want to
is
check
shit.
that out. I've got a
Mr.
couple of things that I would like to
Digimon.
say. First thing that I'd like to say is about Lost Soul Aside, because it just got, big Final Fantasy vibes. Definitely like not for me, but what I wanted to point out is that I feel like a lot of games are looking more and more like this. It's like getting a very samey vibe. I think it's like that Japanese development, and I'm not sure if they're sharing engines, sharing assets, but it's all starting to feel like a lot of games are starting to blend together. Like I see a game like that, and I feel like I've seen 7, 8 games like that, and like they're all kind of running together to me, at least in my mind.
I agree.
okay.
I had the same vibe. I kept, because now, granted, I watched this while working, and I actually had to do my day job today, so I couldn't give it my full attention. Every time I looked over, I was like, okay, is this Devil May Cry? Is this Final Fantasy? Like, what's going on here? A lot of the same bigger, larger than life monsters with really flashy animation attacks,
Big
with plenty of
skyboxes,
lights going all over.
Sparks, yeah.
Whole like overly dramatic, like I had to do all this, but I gave up my soul or some.
It's like
that.
it's like 10 games all share the same engine.
It
It's
all
like the
looks very-
same developer. It's like they all look the same. It's like you gotta differentiate it up a bit. Do something. Stand out. My game of show out of this entire thing was Sonic Racing Crossworlds. Baby, we
That was your
are
game of show?
fucking back.
God,
That
man, this
game
is-
looked
Christ.
incredible. Oh, I don't understand how you can even think that. Like, listen, Sonic All-Stars Racing, one of my favorite kart racers, specifically because they borrow a mechanic from Diddy Kong Racing, where you can complete races in multiple vehicles, right? You can fly and you can go off-road, and like your kart transforms. Not only does Sonic Racing Crossworlds go back to that, but it also lifts that fucking Ratchet and Clank, fucking, what do you guys used to call it? Where you'd snap into like a whole new level and shit and do that whole little thing.
The riffs?
The riffs, it does that at the same time. I was like, dude, that looks great. Of all the games that I watched in this thing, that is the one that I will like most certainly, like absolutely will be picking that
The
up.
sad
immediately.
part is, while I was watching this, I was like, "Oh god, this is Donnie's- this is
Hashtag
gonna
Donna
be
game.
Donnie's
Fucking
You have no idea how bad I just wanted to hide you on the stream while you were talking. Like,
100%.
I wanted to do it so bad, but I'm not gonna be that much of an asshole.
Sonic Racing Crossworlds is going to be the like just.
Devil's going to like it too.
It's going to be the best Switch 2 game money can buy. Can't wait.
Trash.
Next batch, Like a Dragon, Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii. They got a new trailer. There's a demo coming out this Friday, so if you want to play it early, you can. It comes out later this month. Dave the Diver announced crossover DLC with Like a Dragon, Yakuza in Hawaii. Splitgate 2, the alpha release date confirmed for PS5 coming February 27th. And then WWE 2K25 announced an island mode coming at launch in March.
Island relevancy?
Well, it's so funny that Paul Heyman come on the screen and was like, "We're announcing WWE Island." I was like, "Bad time, not good. Like, don't refer to something as your own island. Like, it's not a great island. You couldn't pick something else. Like
Yeah, that's a good point.
WWE Island, Vince Island. Oh, this doesn't sound good. It's not
Worldwide
good.
Epstein Island.
Yeah, it's not good. But in
I must
addition
be
to
missing something, because what's wrong with calling it an island? Like, what?
the
he's
whole
alluded-
Epstein
I think he's
Island
alluding
stuff
to
that's
the
all
Epstein
over.
Island. Yeah.
See, I would have never gone there.
Well, Vince
we
is
know.
pretty-
I didn't
We
go
know.
there until Donnie did, but once he said it, I was like, "Oh yeah, I see it."
See, it
Yeah.
makes sense. Yeah, it makes
When you
sense,
do the
especially when you
parallel with him
know.
and Vince,
when you
Yeah.
know what the fuck's going on with
Yeah.
this man. It makes a lot of sense.
It makes a lot of sense.
Um,
You would have that.
Did you see this at all, Delvin?
No.
The Island. I'm going to give you this pitch because I was like, this is the dumbest shit I've seen in this entire show. The Island is like PlayStation Home, but for WWE.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I thought it was. I'm like, did they bring back PlayStation Home? Because I was not paying
Like
attention.
you get an avatar that you can walk around, and they talk about how much shopping you can do. You can
Yeah.
walk around this virtual world with other people and buy things for your cosmetic wrestler.
It
So it's
reminded
like
me
the,
of like some kind of
2K?
like weird
Go fuck yourself.
sim like shopping thing. Like it didn't really feel
It's-
like you're gonna do any wrestling. Like you're just gonna be like wrestling.
Nobody
themed.
wants the up. Okay,
It's-
like
it's the
nobody
Fortnite
wants
kids
this.
In 2K basketball, where they
Oh,
have like
that's
you
exactly
walk-
what it
they
is.
call it
It's
the city,
2K.
where
It's
you
the
walk
yeah.
around
It's
the
the whole
city
court
and-
thing. Yeah, it's
Mhm.
100%
It's
that.
my park. It's my park, but for
That's
wrestling.
That's what it's
exactly
called,
what
my
it
park.
is. They were
And they
doing
have like
this
different lands and everything like that with different themes. And it looks like just like a weird theme park sim.
It's PlayStation Home for WWE.
I don't like that.
Kids are gonna love it.
Just
Uh,
walking around.
I'm sure they
Next-
would love customizing their own wrestler and dressing up the dolly. I mean, I
You've
can
done that
see it.
before anyway.
We can
Yeah.
do that in every wrestling game since like 1995.
Yeah.
I'm
But
sure
you can't
can.
walk around your my park now.
And with 50 other players and be like, I like your
Who the
hat.
fuck wants to?
No one.
It's looking
All
great.
the
Nobody
people who
wants the
play
bup.
NBA 2K.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Not all these kids
All
have
of those
Dad of the Year, Donnie. they
Right,
need their
facts.
wrestler to dress up.
All right, next batch, Borderlands 4, a release date September 23rd, getting its own dedicated state of play coming this spring.
Why? Sorry.
Split Fiction got a new story trailer, comes out March 6th. There's a new game from Supermassive Delvin called Directive 8020.
I know about
Release
this game.
date October 2nd. Five Nights at Freddy's got a new game. Secret of the Mimic comes out June 13th. And Midnight Walk got a new trailer. Comes out May 8th. Anybody
The
got
directive-
comments on those?
The Directive game is supposed to come out like 2 years ago. As part of the
Really?
Dark Pictures anthology series.
That's the first I've heard of that game.
yeah.
Same.
It was supposed to be the season finale of the Dark Pictures anthology.
I will let you know that I think just as a trailer, as a first preview, I thought this looked far better than like the last 7 games they've showed.
I'm
It had my
assuming-
attention.
Like it looked good. It visually looked good.
because I'm assuming they polished.
It's not
it up a lot
something I can
more.
say about the Man of Medan or the Mouth of Redan or whatever the fuck they're called.
I'm assuming because of the other games they were making at the time, because they were doing like 3 games that they did during this time. But this game for the bin came out.
Yeah, I think this is an engine swap if I had to guess. I think those games are
I-
PS4 development and these are full blown.
Yeah, I think
Maybe
they're
they hit
making those
Unreal
other projects
UE5 or something.
like
Maybe.
the Quarry and
Yeah,
the
this
other
looks a lot
ones
better
help-
than that.
helped make this game.
I'm not
better
going to
than what
buy it.
would've been.
I'm not going to buy it
Right.
until somebody's like, it's awesome. But if somebody tells me it's awesome, I'll try it.
Well, Delvin's gonna tell you it's awesome because
Not
he loves
Delvin.
this.
I said somebody, not Delvin.
I'm no.
Well,
If
D-Life
Delvin,
will tell
I
you
would
it's
have
awesome,
said Delvin.
too.
Not D-Life. Not, nope.
I was
If
very
Josh tells
intrigued
me
by
it's
this
awesome,
game.
I'll try it.
I really was like, "Oh, this looks cool," and then I saw that it was Dark Pictures. I was like, "Oh, I never
You
mind.
just turn it
This
off,
is gonna
mute.
be-" I was completely like, "Never mind." Back
Out
to the
of
bottom
this
of the pile.
batch, the only one that I'm interested in is the Midnight Walk, which is a horror adventure game
Cool.
with stop motion graphics and stuff. And I was like, that looks pretty cool. It's very Burton-esque.
Yeah, Split Fiction. I'm looking forward to play with my daughter.
A lot of people are. That's a big right. Like I feel like that's a. I've seen a lot of positive reception to that game. People are excited for that one.
I've seen this Midnight Walk game. It looks really cool.
But I'm not interested in that one because it's co-op, and I'm just not. I
Yeah,
really
I'm
don't
only
know that stuff.
interested because it's the co-op. Something I can do with my daughter. That's
I was thinking
literally
if you
the
have
only reason.
someone to play with that's dedicated like that, and I'm sure that'll be a good experience.
Yeah, that's what I said with It Takes Two, and then I tried to play it with my wife, and it was a disaster. So
yeah.
I just ruled those games out. now.
Almost ruined the family.
Now when
I
those
set
games
mine
come
at
out, I
that
just
age
put them out of mind. I'm like, never mind, those are not for you.
You
So
and
I
Jack
was,
can't. You and Jack can't get down.
We don't play games together like that. And I'll tell you, little boy has been getting outside of his bounds lately. The other day he was just like, I'll crush you at any game. I'll beat you with Fortnite. I'll beat you with Call of Duty. Like he's just uber competitive of late. Like,
That's when you pull out some arcane game from the past that you're really good at, and you're like, all right, bud, let's go.
well, here's the thing: is it's probably true. I have never claimed to be good at games, but I also have never like played competitively like he is. But it came out of nowhere, and I was like, I hit him with this. So you tell me what you think. I was like, talking mad shit for somebody who's like never beat a Zelda game. Like I have beat 1,000 games while you've been playing Fortnite. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Like you can't finish games. You just play the same game over and over and over again. So, what the hell is that noise?
That's what I was trying to figure out.
Somebody shaving?
Yeah, what is that? I just
No
muted
clue.
it.
Let me mute and see that.
No, Bobby D. Williams that went away when that happened.
Bobby D. Williams.
This motherfucker's got a
Yep.
vibrator in the.
Bobby D. Williams. What are you doing? Are you shaving?
I'm doing nothing.
Yeah, you need to check the nightstand drawer.
What is going on, Delvin?
Does anybody have their phone or electronic devices near their mic? Is it feedback?
No. I mean, it's something on Delvin's end because when he mutes, it goes away.
No, he's
Oh, no,
muted
he's
now,
muted.
and it's still there.
Or unmute Delvin.
What the hell?
So is it on
I'm
Sturt's
back.
end? Uh-oh.
I think it's on Snurt's end.
D-Life says his games probably don't end, Donnie.
I was back
Yeah,
now.
it's Snurt's. Oh, but we can't even hear Snurt's.
I don't know what the fuck
Well,
that is.
Snurt's figures out his technical difficulty. We'll continue on.
So yeah, he was speaking mad shit. He's talking mad shit to me lately, and I'm like, okay, I need you to beat like Breath of the Wild or something before you actually think you can come up to the.
See, I would disagree. Beating games has nothing to do with being able to beat somebody in a game.
But he can't beat a puzzle. That's the point I'm
You don't
trying
have
to
to
make.
You don't have to beat a puzzle to be able to kill somebody in Call of
That's
Duty.
fine. Listen, I'm not super. I don't care enough to fight over nonsense.
Do I work now?
Yeah,
You do.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
you sound
Yeah.
better
Great.
now.
I just thought
He
it was
got some
funny that
Timberlands, and he was feeling real big when you got
he's
them
feeling
Timbos.
himself.
Yeah.
He's feeling himself. Yeah,
Hey.
yeah.
Got him.
Anyway,
So
Like I
out
said.
of this group, Borderlands 4 is probably the one that I'm going to be playing eventually, but I'm not day one at all.
how did
And
you like? Did you
I
guys
thought-
watch this full thing, both of you?
I mean,
I did,
again,
yeah.
I watched it while working.
How did
so
you like the
same.
Randys?
that? Though that's what I wanted to bring up after the
Oh, they're
Borderlands.
muted. I didn't.
That shit was cringe as fuck. I was like, get these guys off.
Like the
fucking
two white guys were like,
screen.
"Wasn't that awesome, bro? Yeah, like we're
Hey
talking
Randy,
about
what's up,
Borderlands.
Randy?
What's up,
Because
Randy? I'm
Randy's
Randy.
excited.
Yeah.
Oh, go Randy! I was like, this is lame as
Yeah.
fuck.
That made me laugh.
I don't know
So
what that
many
is.
of the
Shut
people,
up! Bring back the AI voice girl. Like this is
Yeah.
terrible.
it's so funny when it ever was like somebody who wasn't Japanese. I was like, "What is this goober doing? Like, what the hell?"
I mean, it made it worse as Randy Pitchford, right? Like, I don't think anybody's like, oh.
Yeah, but I was just very underwhelmed by the Borderlands 4. They're like, "Look, we're killing stuff. Look, we're blowing stuff up."
Isn't that
Borderlands.
what you want?
I mean, it is, but like, it didn't really show like too many special abilities. And they're like, "Look at these
They're
cool
getting
guns."
their
I'm like, it's the
own
same
dedicated
thing.
state of play.
Good for them.
Nah, I'm good.
They're
Hopefully-
saving it for that. That's what.
Yeah.
That's your moment.
Then why are you on here?
That's a good
Just
point.
because PlayStation has a marketing agreement, they're giving them their own state of play.
You could have done 30 games and it'd be like just said like Borderlands
Just
4.
cut one
we'll
more.
See you soon with our own state of play. We're done.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you're right. They could have. Yeah, they could have saved it for the spring. The game doesn't come out till September. You're
Right.
not wrong.
I just thought it was off.
There's a lot of things like that I think you could say about this whole thing, though.
Oh yeah. Why?
So
Why?
yeah.
I know Deb has that energy. Why are we doing this? It's not for me.
Yeah.
All right. The next batch, we got Darwin's Paradox. Yeah. Warriors Abyss is interesting. It's stealth dropped. It's out now. It's a roguelite Dynasty Warriors game.
That could be fun.
So,
It could. I love a good Warriors game. I'm not usually into rogues. There have been on occasion, on a hand like 3, a couple that have got me, and I'm wondering if this one might. I don't know. I don't even know if I want to try it. But it was an interesting announcement for sure. Because I do think the Warriors loop makes sense in a rogue format, like the
Sure.
wash, rinse, repeat, upgrade. Go back again. I could see that being somewhat addictive. I'm almost scared to try it because like I'm afraid if I like it that all Warriors games will be. It's just like, oh no,
It'll taint everything.
right? It's like I don't want that to happen.
I can't go back to the old formula.
No, it's not that. It's like I'm afraid that like you play it, it gets really popular, everybody plays it, and they're like, we're just doing this now. But I like the old ones though. Yeah, because I usually play a lot of those things for the story. Onimusha 2, we're just getting a remaster, right? Which was previously announced. That's out May 23rd. And then they showed us another trailer for Onimusha Way of the Sword, which is coming next year, 2026. Which looked like one of the 27 other samurai games that are coming out. There's so fucking many of these right now. And it is hard to tell because like they're all like slightly different. Some of them are like more cinematic, some of them may be slightly more story focused, some of them are like actiony, and then some of them are just like Souls games. But they all, like, again, like we were talking about earlier with these like big fantasy action games that are coming out of Tencent and China and stuff. We are in the deeps of like every publisher has a fucking samurai game that they are making right now, and they all kind of look, I won't say the same, but similar. They're all just like in a dark world where it's raining. There's a samurai and a sword.
And that sword gets really shiny when he powers up.
There's a bunch of these out right now. A bunch of these.
Yeah.
And listen, I think for a lot of gamers, they like this stuff, so I don't think it's a bad thing. It does seem like everybody listened to PSVG and decided to make games for dev. They're like, let's just make this about.
He's shaking his head.
None of these games are for me at all. Like
you're not gonna play any of these samurai games.
No, I don't want to play none of this shit.
You love all this shit. Your swords and bows and all this shit. Stealth around, be the ninja.
When have you ever known me to play everything? I am so particular.
That's
none
true.
of this. The Onimusha Way of the Sword is
leave it to Dev to find the
Make me
semantics
interested.
between these all and like choose
Absolutely.
one.
Absolutely. If it's not like Ghost of Tsushima, I don't want it.
I was thinking maybe if it was like a Stellar Blade, you may be into it. Maybe.
Yeah, he was into that big time.
No, I have Stellar Blade. I don't need another Stellar Blade.
Okay,
there you go. I personally love the art style of Darwin's Paradox, but I don't know if it's a game that I'll ever play because puzzle platformer just doesn't ring my bell. But the whole idea of this like octopus coming into this like weird factory and discovering some kind of aliens, and it's all wacky looking with the animation style. It looks cute, but I don't think I'm ever going to go back and really play it. It seems like something that should be on my phone, to be honest. Like,
yeah. All right, our next batch, we have Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater, which got a new trailer. That trailer leaked previously this week via the PlayStation Store. The game comes out August 28th, so we finally have a date for Metal Gear Solid. The next game in the batch is Hell Is Us, which is a new... Is it single player?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah? I want to make sure I have this right. Yeah, it's a third-person action adventure game.
They announced this a long time ago.
Yeah,
did they? Okay.
Yeah, this isn't a new. You just got a date.
Because I don't. Here's the thing: the trailer didn't give me a lot. This is my first time I think I saw this, so I didn't get a lot from the trailer. But it's honestly like, kind of like how I like my trailers to be. Is almost mysterious in a way that made me want to go look it up. It kind of got in and out quick, like boom. This is it. Like, guy does an action, thing happens, weird monolith thing, boom, here's the date. It's like, wait a minute, what the fuck did I just see? What is that? Like that part of me, it's like, do I need to Google that now? Like, it kind of did that to me, and that's something something I'd like to say about it.
I kind of feel like that way about another trailer that we'll get to later.
Okay, Lies of Pi, right? Or P? What is it? P.
Lies of P.
Overture. That's getting DLC that comes out this summer. And it's like the whole winter DLC for that game. Dreams of Another is a new reveal, and that's coming to PlayStation 5 and PSVR 2. That's the Pixel Junk game, right? If I remember correctly. Is that correct?
I think so.
Somebody?
Uh,
That's the Pixel Junk game where like
when
you
you play
walk
around
around
the dreamscape and you
like you're in like this abstract ethereal
Yeah.
place where
Yeah,
you
yeah,
shoot
yeah,
a
yeah.
gun to like create shit.
Yeah, that's the dreams of another. Absolutely.
Okay.
Destruction breeds creation, basically.
Yeah, destruction. They had that
Yeah.
up the whole time.
So you're like in an impressionist painting, and you have your gat, and you shoot
Yeah.
shit up, and then it
But
becomes
instead of breaking
crystal-
everything,
it's crystal clear now, or something
you're
like that.
painting with a gun, I guess.
Yeah, I mean it's almost like retouching with a gun because they already have
Sure.
the painting,
Yeah.
and you're just kind of. Actually, is this Power Wash Simulator with a gun? Is
Sort
that
of.
all this is?
It's
Like
not that.
like no, but like but to like more artistic, more pretty.
Yeah, it's all bokeh styled, like, blotchy,
Yeah.
Abstractness. It's cool.
2 joint
I
minimum
guess.
for this game. Get high, paint.
You might, that actually might really add to the experience. That's not wrong. I'm interested, it looked like a VR game. So I was like,
It's
why
coming
It
to
is a
VR.
VR game.
I
coming
know
to
that,
VR,
but
yeah.
it's also coming to not VR,
Correct.
which was the point I was making. You can also play it without VR, but it felt like a very VR type of game. It's like an experience. Right?
I
Put
feel
the
like I would
headset
want to
on,
play it
get
for like
lost in
30,
it.
30 minutes, and then I'd be like, yeah, okay, I get it.
Yeah, like you want to look around and stuff, not necessarily be
Yeah.
on the sticks, I guess.
Yeah.
Days Gone Remastered is coming out April 25th. It's got a PS5 Pro mode, Bobby D. Williams.
Let's go, baby.
I know you bought that console for all those big exclusives. Well, get ready.
Let's go.
Days Gone Remastered.
I can't wait to see
it-
1,001 zombies on the screen at the same time.
It does
Power of
come
Pro,
with
baby.
VRR support, a permadeath mode, which is
Bruh.
very interesting, a horde mode, which it should have always
Isn't
had,
that the whole game?
kind of. A bunch of accessibility options, which PlayStation loves to tout in their remasters. And if you already own the game, or you go pick up a used copy of the game, you can upgrade it for $10.
I own the game.
In the VR or in the state of play video, they specifically said the PS4 version. Do they just not market the PC version, or does PC not count for this? Because they have had the upgrades for PC before.
They did
they-
they did talk about PC later, saying that it's gonna have some additional modes and stuff added to the PC copy. The PC.
Because I
version of
was
the game as
wondering,
well.
based on what they were saying, would any of that come over, or is this just like a PC version?
So available on PC. To our PC community, rest assured that all new content and features will be coming to Days Gone on Steam and the Epic Store day and date, April 2025. For all owners
So
of Days Gone on PC, you can purchase the Broken Road DLC for only $10 to receive all the extra stuff.
So you can get the upgrade. That's nice. I like that. Good job,
There you go.
Sony. That's a game I've always thought about going back to. I enjoyed it for about 10 hours or so, but I
It's
got
fun.
really crushed. I got crushed back in the day when Kyle was like, I'm on 40 hours. Like, 40 hours? Like, no way. That's way too long for this game. Do you imagine? Like, oh,
Yeah,
thanks.
that sounds about right.
That's a
Were you
meaty ass
expecting
game.
more of like a action level game, 10 to 12
It's a
hour
meaty game.
type of
That's not what I
experience?
was thinking at all. Like for me,
No,
40
No, I'm thinking
hours sounds
for
about
Donnie,
for this.
but yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
In St. John, the legend.
that was back then when, when I look at Days Gone, I think of something like, would you want to play Dead Rising for 40 hours? Like, I don't. No, like there's definitely a limit to how much I want to do here. But generally in my head, that's just me more lately. I felt like I haven't really dove into like a really big game in a long time. I've downloaded like a bunch of them, and I just don't have the time or the attention or I thought Half-Life 2 was too long. I was like, man, this
Really?
is a long game,
Really?
isn't it? Like I played that thing for like
Wow.
a couple weeks. I was like, this is long. But yeah, it's been a minute since I don't even know. I'd have to think about it like really hard, but it's been a minute since I played something, I think, over 20, 25 hours.
I mean, I just love so many of those games with like the Ghost of Tsushima, the Arkham series, all that stuff is like 40 something hours plus. And then
Yeah.
RPGs, like you're getting 80 to 100. because I'm usually doing at least
Unless
2
it's
playthroughs
Persona.
if you got.
Yeah, 2
Various
playthroughs. Yeah,
paths.
we game
Persona
differently, or at least
500
have
hours.
different time constraints.
Oh, absolutely. No, I am a bachelor with no kids, no wife.
Yeah,
and-
100%. You are
you
like
know,
I'm. One. Okay, so I didn't talk about this week, but
I
one of
can
the
dive into a game and really swim in it for a while.
what I've been playing on Switch.
That's the only
'cause
way I play.
I bought a bunch of
Yeah.
cheap shit, and I'll tell you one of the games I've been playing this week because I've been in training and everything. Don't have time. I've been playing blackjack.
Oh wow!
That's what I've been playing. So yeah,
The game?
like, it took me on Switch. There's a blackjack game. I've just been playing cards for like a couple
You are
days. It's
getting
pretty fun.
old.
The closest thing I come to that is I will still play a Balatro every once in a while, like before going to
It
bed, or
took
if I just
me-
have time to kill at work.
It took me years to beat Valhalla. Like I had to play it and come back and come back and come back and come back. Like it was an odyssey in itself just to get to the end of that game. You know, I just don't have that kind of. Like I think that's a thing. I install games and they're like, oh, it's 50 hours. I'm like, never mind. Like, I'm never going to
The
see
hours
that.
gets me excited. I get to be here for a good time. Like I'm here because
Yeah.
50 hours is my max.
you want to jump around all over the place. I'm like, I just want to sit in one world for a
Well,
long
yeah,
ass
we heard you holding water for places. He's like, we just get one game. I'm
One
good with that.
game
Yeah,
forever.
yeah. He,
One for
Dev
every
was
generation.
making the argument that we just get one first party game a
That's all you
year.
need. That's all you need.
One
All this
game.
shit.
What a
They
year.
just announced 31 games. Ain't none of them PlayStation games. You're good. Stop complaining. You got plenty of
No, people.
Shit's
Yeah,
trash.
okay.
Suck it up.
No.
Stellar Blade is getting crossover Goddess of Victory DLC. Comes out this June. Lost Records, Bloom and Rage. This is
Don't right?
Don't Nod, right?
Yeah.
This is like their Life is Strange spin-off or alternate. It got a new gameplay trailer. The first episode, tape 1, is out February 18th.
Oh,
Spoiler, it's coming to the PlayStation non-essentials tier, so you don't have to buy it. They said, because I know Delvin, you and I are both going to be into this, they said the second episode is not coming out until April.
God damn.
So I'm not playing tape 1. I will wait. Because we did this with Life is Strange 2, and that sucked. Playing that thing in long installments with long waits between, I was like, no, I'm never doing that again. So I will wait until we have at least a good. I don't know how many tapes there are. I assume there's 5, but who knows? But I want to play a couple at once before I wait on others.
I
You know,
do
I'm not gonna be playing one and then wait 2 months and play another one, wait 2 months. I'm not doing all that. So, all right. The next 2 games are indies that are coming day one into the catalog. The one's coming out in spring, the other one's coming out in summer. Blueprints was like my biggest yawn moment, I think, of the entire show. It's this. There's like a procedural, or I don't know if it's procedural. It's like a shuffling of a floor layout and a puzzle game, and like a library and something.
Go, if you're interested, go look it up.
Sure.
Cool. Jay-Z out.
The other one is an abiotic factor game. It's a survival craft 6-player multiplayer game.
Oh, what?
Yeah,
Nope.
have
None of that
fun.
made any
Nope.
sense.
Have fun,
Mm-mm.
kids.
All right.
Travel game?
All right, here's our last 2. Tides of Annihilation. Looks like a new Tencent take on a Bayonetta game.
Okay.
This also has that look that I was referring to earlier,
Yes, it
Snurks,
does.
where they
Yes,
it does. It definitely has
Yes,
that
it
look
does.
where it
could have
and
been
8
Lost
others
Soul
all look
aside.
like the same game. Like, yeah. It's
Lost Soul
Um,
aside, that game, they're all the same. It's the same game.
kinda.
Same picture.
But I liked it, because it's got big Bayonetta vibes. So I was like, okay, maybe. Metal Eden was a big surprise for me. I definitely wishlisted that. That comes out May 6th. It's a boomer shooter with 8 episodes, kind of has like this new age modern Doom take. I was like, that's cool. I'm here to play that. Want to know more about the game. I've only seen the trailer. Want to know more. I would like to know more, but I thought it was really great.
I mean, there's
then-
a blog post that delves more into it. if
Just
you wanna
that
know
game?
more. Yeah. There's a blog
Okay.
post for every single game on this thing. They have
Jesus
its own
Christ, that blog is
post.
forever long. 31.
Well, no,
blog posts today.
it's long because each individual thing has its own.
Oh, you mean
stuff.
a
Yeah,
blog
they're
post
cool.
Are
breaking?
you talking about
No,
the
I saw
PlayStation
the
blog?
Steam page. Yeah, I saw
No,
the
not the
Steam
Steam
page.
page. There's a blog. There's a
I'm
blog
sure
post
it's
on
mostly the
PlayStation.
same information.
Yeah.
I want more deeper information about Metal Eden, which I'm sure we'll get. All right, the two that close out the show. The first one is Mind's Eye. This is a game that's being held by Leslie Benzies, former Rockstar president. So it's got a new gameplay trailer. It comes out this summer, 2025. I mean, I think this will be a popular one, I would imagine, because of the legacy and what it means.
Legacy?
I mean, his legacy, his reputation, definitely.
Yeah.
What did you think of the trailer?
I'm here for it. This is the only game that really piqued my interest in this whole fucking thing.
Oh, okay. Refresh my memory. Is this the one that kind of had like some cyberpunk Grand Theft Auto vibes to it?
So I think
Okay.
a lot of people are going to run with
yeah.
GTA, and to me, it was very cyberpunk.
Yeah, I mean,
This feels a lot like cyberpunk.
the way they were hanging out of the window in the third person gave me GTA vibes, but the setting overall was cyberpunk. So it's like cyberpunk overall, but with like a little hint of GTA.
They said it's coming out this summer, which surprised me because I actually wasn't too like overly whelmed by it looked like a game that I was like, looks good what they're doing, but maybe like slightly early.
Yeah,
I don't know how
it
long
didn't
this
look polished
footage
to
is.
me at all.
Yeah, it didn't look like
A lot of
super
cars
polished
driving,
AAA
a lot of
game.
shooting, a lot of
looks
blowing
good.
up, but nothing else really.
So I was surprised that it's coming so soon.
Yeah, I'm intrigued by the story. I didn't get GTA vibes at all. Just because there's cars doesn't mean GTA to me. It definitely felt more cyberpunky because it feels more futuristic, and you've got some dude with a chip in his head. So
Yeah,
Right.
I meant so
I'm
much
very
that I think
intrigued.
they're going to go with the Leslie GTA connection, and I think people are going
iRobot.
to try to make that. I saw that. I saw that already out there in the reporting. People are going to kind of. There's a new GTA game coming out this summer. I'm like,
there's nothing.
that's really how you
GTA
burden a game with unrealistic expectations,
Yes.
man. Like,
And
don't
that's
say
a bad
that.
idea.
This is not that at all.
Yeah, I would agree with you. And then the last game is Saros, which is the new game from Housemarque, coming out next year, 2026. I never played Returnal, so this is where I get off the ride. I don't know. Is this a sequel? Is it the same character?
Nope.
So this is what I wanted to bring up when you mentioned earlier, where it's just kind of this trailer and you have no idea what the hell's going on for the whole
Yeah,
thing.
it just kind of leaves you wanting more.
Because like I was watching this and I'm like, I like it. I like the premise. Guy's on the beach, wakes up, big fucking shiny thing. Apparently there's a respawn mechanic in there. And then they just kind of cut the credits or whatever. And I'm like, I have no idea what just happened.
It makes me feel like it's going to be
I have
another
no idea what's going
Returnal
on.
type because there's one like when they're panning out, you see all of these blue orbs that look like it, like from Returnal, where you're
Right.
dodging all of these bullets or whatnot. So it
Yeah.
makes me feel like it's going to be something very similar with that respawn mechanic because they do say come back better. So
Bullet
And
I'm
hell,
assuming
roguelike.
it's going to be very similar and a them building upon Returnal and creating something different.
That was my takeaway.
I guess
Which
because I
made
don't
me-
know what Eternal is. I didn't even know that was like a thing beforehand until we're having this discussion. So for me, it's a
Returnal?
brand new
Returnal?
Returnal. Yeah.
Wow. You should play it.
Uh,
then.
Close to launch PS5.
Dev loved it.
It's fucking
Okay.
awesome.
So did Kyle.
So because like I came with this with fresh eyes, like I was
Mm-hmm.
very, very lost. I'm like, why does this give me vibes of like Dune and Space Marines and the way the aesthetic looks? And I like the gun. The gun looked really fun to shoot. I mean,
Now I feel bad. He's going to play
uh,
Returnal and be like, oh, no.
Yeah, go look up Returnal. It's a procedurally generated game. Every time you die, everything resets.
Yeah.
There's ways to have additional lives or not have to have everything reset. And there's biomes. So once you complete one biome, you go to the next. But every
Okay.
time you die,
It's a rogue light, but
everything
not
is
like fully
reset.
rogue.
what's
It's
the
its own
combat
rogue.
like?
the combat is bullet hell. You're constantly
I'm about to say.
dodging, moving.
So like
it's
a
hard as fuck.
Helldivers type of situation. Like maybe not exactly, maybe, but like
Kind of.
shoot and dodge.
Kind of, but just imagine way more bullets, like infinite amounts
Way
of
more
bullets
bullets.
coming, especially when you get to the boss fights. You're looking at like R-Type, where you're trying to figure out what the boss mechanics are, how they're
Okay.
going to move, where the bullets are coming. So you figure out the pattern.
R-Type.
And
is
then-
in there.
Ah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Okay.
good.
You
Third
take
person
down one
action
bar, then they do something
R-Type.
completely different with the next bar of health. So you're going to die multiple times until you figure out the whole.
So this is why Dev is
it's
needed
so
on
weird
XP.
because I'm looking at like I googled it and the first thing that picks up, I'm like, I can't tell if this is like an alien spin-off movie for a video game.
It's definitely inspired by Alien, that's for sure. It's like a lot of the vibes are Alien inspired.
Surprised you didn't know. Like, this is the first day you've ever heard about Returnal?
Potentially.
It's like game of the year.
I'm also
contender,
not really big in the roguelikes, and I don't follow everything. And it wasn't until last year that I started doing podcasting for about video games.
Sure,
So
no,
now
that
I'm
I get.
You
That
know
I
what I
get. It
mean?
was
So
several
it's
years ago. It was several years
Yeah.
ago in the middle of a pandemic.
Yeah.
It's just that that game had a lot of. There's a lot of people to this day that think
Mhm.
that's PlayStation's best exclusive on the PS5.
Really?
That is
That's
correct.
a real
People
thing.
say that.
Yeah.
I'm not one of
Okay.
those people, but other people say that.
I have never played it because I'm 100% certain that it's not a game for me.
If Donnie were to
No,
play
it's
this,
not.
Yeah.
he would
mean, the
go
only
out and break
roguelikes that
somebody's PlayStation.
The only roguelike I really enjoy is Hades. So
Yeah, the moment they showed this, I was like out. So when they kind of showed, and I got this similar, I was like, this is more Returnal kind of, and an expanded Returnal. I was like, nah, I'm good.
It definitely
I mean-
feels like a spiritual successor to
It
Return.
does.
okay, cool.
That's why I asked if it was a sequel. I didn't know if it was a direct sequel, but it definitely seems like. Now,
We don't know
I
yet.
tell you, I don't know how much was, CG or whatever. I mean, it definitely feels like maybe a step up, right? Like 5 years of developing on top of what they already accomplished. It's like it looked
Possibly.
very
And
impressive.
Returnal was a nice looking game too.
I thought
Yeah,
that whole trailer
Housemark
was
does
not
excellent
in-game
stuff.
footage.
Yeah, I mean, I love
It was
Housemark.
just
Don't get me
trailer.
wrong. I don't know if I
It
like
did say this
Returnal,
isn't
but-
in-game footage, right? It did say
It
not
did,
in-game
yeah, it had
footage.
a warning.
Right,
when
cinematic.
Then what the game's going to look like at all.
Yeah. This is the cutscene. This is the World of
Yeah.
Warcraft cutscene that looks
Even their
amazing.
cutscenes were better.
Yeah,
It's
okay.
better cutscenes than they've done in the
Yeah.
past.
they're
But
good
they've had their
cutscenes.
head down. Anyway, listen, I don't. What time is this? I don't have forever. So that's the show. Like I don't have a PlayStation, so I'm not nearly as invested. I didn't get to watch the show live because I was at work all day. So I listened to the state of play on my way home, and then I did the notes when I got home. But because I was on YouTube, I definitely clicked into a couple YouTube videos that were talking about it. And my take was everybody agrees that like it was a very quality show. There's lots of great games here. But almost unanimously out of the 3 or 4 videos I listened to, everybody was like, where are the PlayStation games? Is that the take from like the community that you guys saw or no?
Well, I
I
mean,
have absolutely no idea.
didn't they already announce that there's not going to be any more PlayStation exclusive games this year, or am I getting my news mixed up?
I have no idea, buddy.
I
Like that's why you're
remember-
here, Snurts.
I remember someone bringing up that like we're pretty much like we may have 1 or 2 next
I lean
year.
on you guys for that information. I have no idea.
And so like to me, I don't really care. Like they
How
have
was the
30
community? How was the Discord? You guys were. How was that today?
quiet.
It didn't exist. There was a little bit of chatter, but there
Nobody
wasn't a whole
talked
lot.
about the show at all?
Nobody's really talking about it. No. I think
Crazy.
Stingray said it was like a solid 7, but there wasn't a whole lot of chatter around it.
Huh.
You know, PlayStation, we don't talk. There's not a whole lot of chatter going on in there unless I'm
Well,
talking.
I tell you, yeah, we did the tweets for questions today, and we didn't get a lot of them. And I was like, really? The PSN outage, a whole state of play, and not one person cared to ask us a question about any of it. That's crazy.
Well, I mean, it's a very homogenous group of games, as we've been discussing.
Yeah, I agree with you
And
there.
there's a couple like 3 or 4 standouts here, and unless you really are passionate about one of them, I mean, I don't really recall anybody being like any of these games that are like on someone's radar, with maybe the exception of like Metal Gear Solid and the Sonic Racing.
I'm day one on both of those.
Maybe
The other ones I'm not
so-
like I bolded the ones that interested me. So that's
Yeah,
what,
yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
Yeah.
5, 6 games in here that I'm interested in. But I'm only day one on 2 of them, and that's Metal Gear and Sonic. We'll figure out the other ones when they come out and
I
whatnot.
mean, for me personally, I don't feel like I'm day one on any of these.
Say the only one that might be day one on, depending on how polished it actually looks, is Mind's Eye. That's the only. I guess that's the only game that really piqued my interest.
Digimon,
Dylan?
baby.
Yeah, I mean Digimon. That's right. I think this would have been an amazing Keeley show, but the expectations are higher when it's Sony doing their own show or anybody doing their like when you're a platform provider, the expectations are higher. And we continue to kick down the can as to what is first party doing, which
I've
Peop-
already told you. I've laid it out. They don't care. They're gonna give you 1 to 2 first party
Well-
games, and here's all these other games to fill the gaps.
well, I don't think it's not that they don't care. I think what you're seeing is the ramifications of canceling a dozen projects.
Sure. Sure.
If they didn't cancel
also,
a dozen
like,
projects, we'd see games, but we don't because they've canceled a dozen projects.
I guess I never understood why is it such a big deal for people to be like, oh, we need the
Oh,
PlayStation
don't do the Devin
exclusive.
thing.
I feel
don't
the
do
exact
that.
I
same.
really,
This is ridiculous.
it's just,
Guys,
There's
this
so
is
many
crazy.
fucking games.
Like I let Devin have it, but I can't do with both of you having. Like people buy the
you don't get it.
platform
Like when I'm
for
listening to
first party
show
games.
on Wednesdays, and I'm like, Dev's right. Like,
Oh my
got
God.
plenty of games out there. There are so many games out there. And here's the thing, like
That's not the point. There's
this
always
much.
so many games out there on everything.
Un poquito caring about like who actually is coming out with the game. It's more of, is it fun? Is it something I'm into?
Listen,
You know, granted,
said-
like I do look at like, you know, certain publishers and studios that I know that I like that have a proven track record. And I am a little disappointed that there was no Wolverine.
Yeah, so if there's
trailer
no
this time.
Wolverine or Venom would be here, I think this
But
tune would be a little different.
At the same time, like I know those games are in the work and I know they are
Exactly.
coming. So I don't need this. Like you're
Eventually.
talking to somebody who watches one movie trailer and then waits 2 years for the fucking thing to come out before actually, like, because I don't need trailers upon trailers upon trailers. I do not need like press release upon press release. I need the product.
Delvin, help
I'm
me,
the
buddy.
same way.
That's it.
Delvin, help me
Nerds, You're speaking
This
my
Delvin.
language.
sounds fucking ridiculous. Donnie
The
always say,
holding
I'm gonna
water
say,
here
this
is crazy.
stupidest shit I've heard in a while. We buy a PlayStation to play PlayStation games.
And you're
Stop
going
showing
to.
us all this yeah, in 2030? No.
On PlayStation 6.
Delvin, you buy everything. It doesn't fucking matter.
That's because we didn't have any PlayStation games. We
Delvin,
didn't buy this
you
shit
buy
to play
everything
fucking
regardless.
Xbox is gonna give us more exclusives on PlayStation than PlayStation is.
That's
It's
true.
nuts. We need to get PlayStation
And the best
games.
games are going to be the PlayStation games, and you're going to be fucking fine.
Well, we won't find out till 2085.
And you'll be fine until such a time occurs. You're going to be just fine.
Maybe Directive 8020 is about PlayStation.
So
That's
here's
when
the
we're getting
difference.
the game.
I buy a PlayStation to play video games, and when I get
Correct.
the PlayStation games, I'm very happy with that. But the
I
reality
play-
is, I buy a console just to play video games, and when I get the first party ones, that's the icing on the cake. But it's
Nah,
not
son,
the
fuck
only
that.
reason I buy the PlayStation.
I buy a PlayStation to play PlayStation exclusives.
That is a
If that
fucking
wasn't the
lie.
case, yes, I do.
Because you
that's 'cause I
buy
just play
everything
on
else. You wait for the Xbox games to come to PlayStation and play them on the PlayStation. You buy a PlayStation to play
Because
video games. You buy the
Xbox-
vast majority
you.
of your
That's
games
why.
on PlayStation.
Because
then
I have no choice.
PlayStation games, it's the icing on your
No,
cake.
no.
No,
I bought the PlayStation to play PlayStation games. I accept the other games there because I have no fucking choice. But if that was
You have a choice. You could have bought them on Xbox and you chose not to.
Nah, son. We see where that went at. That was for that big L.
Are
I
a lot
want
of these
stuff in
games
this
not
life.
coming to Xbox? You could still play them on Xbox.
Nah,
You
son.
choose not
I
to.
want my PlayStation exclusives. I want
And you're
my Last
going
of Us.
to get them.
No, we didn't buy the PlayStation 5 to wait 30 years to get exclusives.
Okay, so
Delvin,
if I
I'd like
may
to
give
point
an
out,
analogy, I feel
You're
like
getting Days Gone remastered.
Dev
Yeah,
and
the
I
same shit we
are
played
like
like last
precision.
generation.
precision
Here you
gamers.
go.
To add
Like,
next
we
to your
choose our
Horizon
target,
remaster,
stay
your
on
Last of
target,
Us remaster.
we play the game.
Mhm.
They're
Now,
like-
Donnie and Delvin like fire a
Whoa, whoa, whoa,
buckshot.
whoa, 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 whoa,
And they're
wait.
like,
Yeah.
Why
fine,
the fuck am
fine,
I catching
fine,
strays?
fine.
I'm not
fine,
invested in this
fine.
You're
ecosystem.
not catching
me.
the stray. It has
Ooh.
nothing to do with the
Ooh.
ecosystem. It's how we
new
play
handheld.
games.
I'm gonna buy that. Like new games, I'm gonna buy that. I'm gonna go to New York and buy some weird bootleg shit. You know, like you
Look at-
guys buy a plethora of games and love like bouncing between stuff. I buy one console per generation and I play the games that come on that console, and that's it. Like, and
It's
I have
not
plenty
our
of games
fault.
to play.
You
And then I
are poor.
I hope you do. Hang on. You
No,
do
I'm
realize.
selective with
You do
my
realize
purchases.
though. Let's maybe splice hairs here and get into Dev's favorite semantics. You do realize that the counter argument that you're arguing against isn't that there's nothing to play. Nobody's saying that there aren't games to play. That's never been a thing. So
Right.
you being like, both of you, when I say both of you being like, there's plenty to play. That's never been the issue. No one has ever said that there's nothing to play.
Correct.
Okay, I
I'm not
just want to
saying-
point that
I'm
out because
also,
in
I'm
your
not
arguments
saying
about
that.
why it's okay that there's no first party, you keep talking about
Well, there
how
are
much
first
other thing
party.
is, but
They just
that's not
don't-
the point. The
also,
point isn't that there's nothing to play.
Also,
There
when I
are
get
first-party
first-party
games, and
I
they're
play
coming.
them and beat them immediately.
I do not know that they're coming. I know there's one coming this year. I think Yote
Game
is coming
Plus.
this year, I think.
We don't know what's coming any year.
But I do not know
Right.
beyond that what's coming this year at all for
Yeah,
PlayStation.
we don't know that anything.
And I think it's
MLB the show. There you
and
go.
I think it's worth talking about and pointing out because I think last year we felt very similarly, and I think it's very weird to have 2 years where you're like, what the fuck's going on over there? Now,
It's been more than
I've told you my piece. My piece is, yeah, when you cancel as many projects as they had, this is what happens.
Right, you're
And
shifting
I
away from live service failures to like trying to figure out
Correct.
what you're going to do next, and that's
they
got to
reload, and games take a long time to. They take 4, 5, 6
They
years to
take
make.
longer than they've ever taken.
Correct. Correct.
It's crazy
So that's the
that
only
this
point I'm pointing out.
generation, they're
But
like,
the
hey,
whole, it's fine to have one game like that. I'm not on that. That's a crazy wagon.
it's crazy. They're like, hey, we did last generation
fine.
so well. We're gonna sell you the
We'll just
same
take this
shit again.
generation off. Yeah, that's a
Give you the
crazy.
The same games.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
last
do
year
wonder.
Played Ninja Gaiden
Yeah.
Black 2. It's
Yes.
like, I mean, it was great. It was fun. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't see the
Yeah.
problem with it,
I'm with
like,
you.
releasing
I'm
the
playing-
remasters and all that stuff.
I'm playing
That's fine.
GT64, so what the fuck am I? I have no.
Yeah.
no
The
dog.
reality
Fine.
is, if you really care, Delvin, you'd get rid of your PlayStations like Donnie, but you don't care because you're going to play a bunch of shit anyway.
I'm just waiting for the exclusives.
Yeah, you'll be fine, and
I
you'll
guess,
play a bunch of
like,
shit.
Well,
in the,
guess
in the
what,
I mean,
buddy?
like,
You're gonna have
you
to buy
wake up in
another
the morning
console.
and
You have to
you're
buy
like-
another console to play them, Delvin.
Yeah. Maybe
I mean,
two
and
other
look, I
consoles.
say that somewhat facetiously, but honestly, where we are and how long games take to make, like, how many first-party exclusives do you think you get out of the PlayStation 5 before they move on to the next thing? Like, is it greater or less than 5?
No.
I don't
think
know.
it'd
I
be
don't
like
care.
5.
Like, I honestly think you are staring down the barrel of like 4 to 8 more games, probably,
We are
before
closer
you
to
buy
the-
another console. And I
we
feel
are
like
closer to the next
8
console generation.
is being generous. Like 8 is a lot. Depending on where, like, maybe some of these live service games that they still have come, Marathon and Fair Game, like if they still make it, if they cancel those, well, it gets less. But it's an interesting. Now here's the best part. Guess what? They have zero competition in this console space. We talked about what does this mean for Xbox? What does it mean for PlayStation? Well, guess what it means? It means that they can have a high-end console market without having to deliver lots of first-party software because there's no competition in the space.
Exactly.
What the fuck do they care? They can keep putting out directs full of third-party games and be like, hey, if you don't want to buy a PC, we are the only game in town. So
And we have this great library that you can play while you wait for our new.
we have all these we have a console for you. It's called a PlayStation 4 and all of its great exclusives.
like Donnie, when you can get Hentai Shop Simulator on the PS5. I mean, what else do
Hey,
you need?
I'm going to tell you, the other day I've bought 20 cheap ass Switch games in the last week. And
Sure.
Delvin, one of the games on the eShop sale is the Hentai Collection game for $1. It's $1 and you get all of the eShop Hentai games for
What a
$1.
deal.
I was like, I kind of want to just check it out, like just to see if anything's worth a damn.
I kid you not. There is something on the PlayStation Store called the Hentai Shop Simulator, and
Oh, yeah.
I was
Oh,
like,
I believe it. 100%.
and it
I
just
believe
kind of cracked me up. We're like, oh, you could pretend to sell people porn, and I'm like, wow, that's the life for me. I feel like I'm back in Chatsworth already. It's a
My big
valley
takeaway
joke
from the
for
state
a
of
lot of
play
people.
was I've been hearing, and we talked about this when the PS6 was announced and was unveiled. I've been hearing or seeing, maybe is a better way. I've been seeing online reactions from PlayStation gamers, just critical of the lack of first-party software. And I don't think this presentation did a whole lot to put any of that to bed. If anything, it probably stoked the flames. I think this is an excellent presentation. Get 30 games of this quality. Like, this would be an excellent Summer Games Fest. If Jeff Keighley did this, people would be pounding the fucking doors down, right? But because PlayStation did this, and probably because expectations get the best of everybody, people probably had expectations for Wolverine, Venom, other things that weren't here.
Keep
But
saying
again,
Venom. Was there an announcement of a Venom game?
I thought that was a
made?
thing.
Yeah,
I thought that was a thing, or
that's the
DLC or
next one. It's
something.
going to be like Miles Morales, but
Yeah.
featuring
Has it been
Venom.
announced?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Was it in
I
that
don't
leak?
know.
Was it in the Insomniac leak?
Could have been.
It
They're
was
gonna
a
do
If
big-
it's
It's
been
a
announced.
thing. It's
You
out
need
there.
to figure out Wolverine first. Get that done, and then go back to Spider-Man. In my opinion.
PlayStation 6, Nerds. Hope you're ready.
Oh well, but if it's anything like the PS4, PS5, I can have my PS5 playing those games coming out on both consoles.
Well, I
for
think
the
they
next
learned their
20
lesson
years.
from that shit. I don't think that shit's going to happen again.
I don't know. We'll see.
I think
you wanna talk
who
about
was it?
expectations? People
Hiroki
are gonna
Tataki. He's like, nah, son. You either buy the new box, you ain't playing this shit. We ain't playing that game again.
Yeah, and then
So-
their sales dip off, and they're like, "Shit, we made a mistake."
Do they? Do they?
I
dip?
don't know. Hey,
Listen,
well, if
they haven't-
people aren't, if
They
people
haven't
are
dipped
paying,
now.
if people are playing mostly at like what is it, like 40-60 PS4 to PS5 or something like that. Like it's very close to 50-50 still. Like
Guess-
last
guess-
time I looked into it.
Guess what?
But-
Guess if the number? Guess why the number could be higher? Is if
Huh.
none of those games are cross-gen, it'd be a higher number.
It-
That
it-
ratio wouldn't be so split.
people would be buying more consoles, I suppose. But again, they have this
100%.
like I could see people getting pissed off, and they're like, "Oh, hey, like we had this PS4,
Look,
PS5
No,
thing."
It really
nobody's
does-
getting pissed off.
It doesn't matter because once Grand Theft
They'll
Auto
buy it
6
anyway.
comes out, more people are buying PS5s, and
Oh,
then
yeah.
they're just going to complain about not having enough games, but they're still going
Well,
to keep
hang on.
their systems keep playing.
For your point, Dev. So if I'm maybe, I just love these PlayStation shows. I just get to be devil's advocate here. I have no dog in the fight. But let me support Dev to fuck over Delvin here.
Okay. I like this.
More people buy, this is a reality. More people buy PlayStations to play Fortnite and Call of Duty and Grand Theft Auto than they do Ghosts of Yotei and God of War. And that's just reality. And when you look at their sales numbers, even their like high and mighty Spider-Man is only selling to like 15% of the customer base.
Mm-hmm.
And it's also
They're not driving. It's not, we equate them to like Nintendo. And we're like, it's not like Nintendo. Nintendo
Not
sells
at all.
60, 50, 40 million copies of games. You know, PlayStation's first party, like they're ecstatic if that thing hits 15 million. They're like, this is amazing. You
Like
know.
I said, people buy PlayStations to play video games.
It really
Icing
is.
on the cake is the PlayStation exclusives. People buy the Nintendo to play Nintendo games.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
It really is a PC alternative. Like at its core.
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
It's a PC alternative for the average customer. The average PlayStation customer is the PC alternative.
PC alternative and home entertainment center.
Yeah, I wouldn't even go as far as saying the average customer buys a PlayStation to play exclusives. I honestly would probably say the average PlayStation customer probably doesn't play the exclusives.
Correct.
Maybe plays like one
Call
or two
of
of them.
Duty and Madden.
And that's
they're
why
not playing
and
Returnal. They're not playing any of that.
And that's why I find this
Absolutely not.
obsession with first party like game releases very just silly. And I feel like it's
Exactly.
people making noise because they need to like produce content or they're bored and they're on
I don't
Reddit.
think that. I think you're going a bit too far. I do think there's.
I mean,
the
there's
hard-
a lot like
Listen,
of
it's the hardcore social media gamer.
sure.
And that person is us, and we do play all of those exclusives.
It's the loud
It's-
minority.
It is.
that's
It's the
not-
loud minority.
Yes.
Well, I don't think it's for content. We love that shit. We want to play all of them. But
No,
you just
no,
got to
I'm
realize if you're the person that's played, if you have played and beaten God of War, The Last of Us 2, and Horizon Zero Dawn, you were in like 2% PlayStation customer land. like you were in so few amount of people that have done those three things.
What I'm
Yep.
trying
You
to
know.
say is that when you have these like video game media news outlets and they need to be able to produce some show that day based off of this, showcase, and someone wants to bring up, hey, we need more exclusives, they'll have something to talk
Yeah.
about.
Yeah.
So I think it's more of that. And to me, it's just kind of noise, and it's like,
And they
I don't
It's
also-
absolutely noise.
Yeah.
See, that's the that's where it's almost like I'm talking to Daniel. It's the quick wit to dismiss it. It's like I can't go that far. I get your point. I think it's fair, but it's also like this corporation has 24 studios making games and releasing one game a year. That's a problem. Now we know why it's a problem, and it's fair to bring that up. But I wouldn't dismiss it being like, oh, it doesn't matter. Like, no, it's a problem. Like, they needed to fix that.
I would say it's more of a problem
but just
for
saying they need to fix it that's all that needs to be said.
Also,
I mean, it's a problem for them figuring out what their business model is moving forward, and I'm all for you on the business side of things. But like
And a
fans,
problem for us.
fans being like, "Oh, I'm upset because I don't have enough exclusives." I'm just like,
Sure.
I'm sorry.
That's just console wars.
I
Now,
I don't really
in
care.
console wars, I mean, listen, console wars sell.
Sure,
Yeah.
Like
sure.
that fucking it sells. People love it as much as people want to say they don't.
Oh
People
yeah,
do. People
I mean,
love
it's
it.
the same
That's
tribalism.
why I say it's
People
noise.
There's something
Yes,
very
exactly.
special, unique about having
Because like
something
I'm
that
not
someone else
going to
can't
look
play.
at the community and see what they care because it's all just noise. None of it fucking matters. None of it
Fair enough.
matters.
Okay, fair. All right, let's move on. PlayStation non-essentials this month. You're getting Jedi Star Wars Survivor on PlayStation 5 and 4. Top Spin 2K25. As I mentioned earlier, Lost Records, Blue Moon Rage Tape 1, Saga Frontier Remastered, Somerville, which I'll talk about here again in a minute, 10 Hearts and Mordhau. If you're in the Classics catalog, which means you're a part of the premium most expensive tier. So you paid the most money so you can play Patapon 3 and
Finally!
Drop Ship and Armored Core 1 through 3.
Wow. Boy,
Why?
gotta tell you, there's no way in hell I'm getting my PlayStation Plus tier back when it's over. When it's over, it's over, fam.
I would spin up Armored Core 1 if I had access. I haven't played that game in so long. I played the shit out of that game when I was younger. That was like my PlayStation game
So
back in the day.
it's
I loved Armored Core.
not doing
I
that.
only put it in the arcade.
It's just so like I just so badly want like a big fucking blockbuster like Gundam Wing game, like like with all the drama and shit. Like I want the whole experience.
Didn't they just have that with the last Armored Core game?
Yeah, but it's not. It's different. That's
Are you
not what I'm
talking like
about.
Dynasty Warriors, but in space with Gundams?
Maybe something like that, but like a big cinematic, anime story,
Super Robot
but
Wars.
Gundam Wing and action and battle, and not like kick you in the teeth. This is so fucking hard to control
Okay,
and
so
you
you
like
just
a-
and everything.
You want baby mode of the last
Baby ass baby
Armored
mode. I
Core
was
game.
thinking more like Spider-Man, but Gundam Wing. You fuck. Baby ass baby
Wow.
mode.
baby mode.
Jeez,
I was
okay.
thinking like
You said
BBC
you don't want to
Sparking
get kicked in the
Zero.
teeth. I'm like
Spider-Man doesn't kick you in the teeth. You love that game, so the fuck.
Yeah, I do love that game, but I
And
also
is
like
it
games
baby
that
ass baby mode Spider-Man?
It can be. It's very
Mhm.
easy. It's not hard at all.
All right, well then sure.
It's
Then
not hard.
I accept it. Then I accept your challenge. That's
Yeah,
fine.
you fuck.
I just want like a good single player action game like a Batman or a Spider-Man, like these games that we like,
With
but
Gundam.
make
Yeah.
it Gundam
Gundam. I hear you.
and let me fucking fly around and beat shit up and crush shit and be awesome. Yeah, that sounds dope.
Giant cannon. You have to like get so many hits.
Fucking
in,
anime had me
giant
that
cannon,
whole
and then you get
Toonami and shit. That shit
Yeah.
had me
Oh,
locked
100%.
when I was younger. Like, I was
Oh,
like, this is the greatest cinematic experience of my life,
I love the one that had the giant scythe. Like that was amazing,
dude. It was
Like,
the
I was
best.
like, I'm in
It was
100%. Like I always
best.
love it. It's like one of my favorite weapons. Like I just, it's so much fun.
All right, so I mentioned that I'd talk about Somerville soon. So Jump Ship, the developer behind 2022's sci-fi survival story Somerville, has regained its independence after the co-founder has reacquired the studio back from Thunderful. So Thunderful, which you may know as Image and Form from a long time ago, they bought up this studio in 2022, and they released this game, they published it and everything. And then Dino Patti, who used to be one half of Playdead, which you may know from Inside and Limbo fame, he says, and I quote, "I sold my studio in 2022. Today I got it back. Today marks a new chapter for Jump Ship Studio. After Thunderful's acquisition in 2022 and recent changes, I've now reacquired the studio. Unfortunately, the company is now empty of employees, so the road ahead will be entirely different." And I didn't write this down, but he said, "But I'm looking forward to rebuilding it." So we've seen a lot of studio closures, dormant IPs. I like seeing this instead. Like if Thunderful was thinking about closing this down, better off to spin off and sell off the assets. Like if somebody believes they can do something with it, give them a chance.
Yeah.
You know. So and I did not enjoy Somerville nearly as much as Insider Limbo, but I did play and finish Somerville, and I did like it. And definitely has those vibes. I thought it was cool. So if you haven't and you have PlayStation Plus and one of the non-essential tiers, give it a try. All right, so some quick headlines. See, what time is it? I don't have. All right, guys, you got me for like 20 minutes, and that's pushing it. PSN went down this weekend. It was down for an entire 24 hours. Is that right? It's like 23 hours, something like that. PlayStation didn't really say why it was down during. I don't know if they've said why it was down. I haven't seen it. But when they came back online, they were like, sorry for that outage. And then they've extended everybody's PSN service by 5 days. And I think I've seen a lot of people angry for multiple reasons. People are angry at the lack of transparency. People are angry with the extended service. And just, I think generally there's a lot of people angry they just couldn't play their games. So I'll read this one because Joe is a friend of mine. He did ask, how did you survive the great PSN outage of 2025?
I went to a Super Bowl party.
There it is. Yeah. Do that.
I play on PC, so who cares?
Yeah. I wasn't affected by this on my gaming side of things, and I had a pretty busy weekend anyway, so just didn't really impact me.
I had two friends who were like itching because they couldn't play their Madden seasons. They were like,
oh no,
their minds. It was so funny. I asked him, so how you guys doing without playing Madden? And he sends me like the Tyrone Biggum scratching.
Oh yeah,
don't worry, you won't have that problem on Switch.
I was like, really? It's that bad that you can't find something else to do? Like, it's Super Bowl weekend and you're
for one day.
Madden.
Yeah,
and I know you're in.
I think it was one of my better people watching experiences of the year. Like just combing through. It was twofold. It was either combing through meltdown tweets or meme tweets, both equally entertaining. I was just loving. I was like, this is amazing. This is incredible. So this is great.
I do like how it's very much like the restaurant manager or the hotel manager being like, yo, I'll just give you 5 extra days.
Yeah, we talked about that a little bit in the Discord. There are people that are angry at the 5 days. Then there's people that are angry at the people angry about the 5 days.
Of course.
My stance is the 5 days is more than fine. I think it's more than fair. But anybody I think there's like some entitlement. You know, people are like they feel entitled or demanding. I think PlayStation could have easily done better. And that's all I really think. They didn't have. Do they have to? Did anybody require it? Was it necessary? It wasn't necessary. This is fine. But if I were in customer relations, like if it were me, if I ran PlayStation, it's like let's give everybody a month and let. Generally speaking, when you are a corporation of this level and you impact millions of people and players and people spending money, keep them happy, keep them spending. Don't give them a reason to think differently, right? So I would instead of coming up with something arbitrarily listen, they give more days away in a trial than 5. Yeah. It's like you could have maybe just done a little bit here, guys.
So to go back to my restaurant analogy, it's like, oh, we know there was a cockroach in the soup, but here's a free thin slice of pie.
100%. Yeah. It's like you could have done a little bit.
Also, I think the best way, and this is my own personal opinion because I use humor to just get through everything in life. You get your social media person on there. You start posting stuff like holy crap, a raccoon got into the system again, or I'm so sorry, and try to cut a couple jokes.
That Helldivers bomb drop ship really fucked things up,
Yeah. We got rid of our IT guy, like he's or whatever. I don't know.
Show Jim Ryan looking at servers.
Like you just kind of we recognize what's going on. We recognize that you're upset, and we're doing our best. But here's a little bit of humor to make it not seem so super serious all the time.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, they're a Japanese company, and that'll never fucking happen.
As someone who worked with Japanese clients before, I completely understand, and that's all I'll say about that.
The thing people. So we had a couple Discord I can't believe people are angry about it. It's like it doesn't cost them anything to extend any of these by any.
No,
they're literally making it like they've made up their own currency. Yeah. It doesn't.
I'm just a complete asshole who's worked in IT for far too long because my response is, it went down. Suck it the fuck up.
I mean,
You
I
got 5
remember.
days.
Yeah,
Enjoy.
yeah. Users never want to hear that.
I do
My
remember,
IT people tell me that,
Here's
and
the
I tell
thing.
my IT people to shut the fuck up. And I'm like, absolutely
And
not. We're not going to
That
say
is exactly why you're not getting shit. You're lucky I don't pull the plug.
Uh-huh. You're lucky if
do
you stay here
recall-
very long.
What they
being
said
a
was-
World of Warcraft player and getting very upset when the servers were down for longer than they said they were going to be down because I had
Sure.
to get me my XP.
Listen, I understand why people are
I-
upset.
I
You
can
work
kinda
all
get
damn week and you come home trying to play and you can't
Right.
play. That sucks. Especially you pay for it. That sucks.
What are you going to say?
It does
Delvin?
suck.
I think they should give the same thing they gave during the last outage.
No,
Exact
that was a
same-
month.
The exact same games.
Here's Uncharted. Here's Uncharted 2 or whatever.
Detonation. There's Detonation, and here is what was it?
Here's
Infamous.
the Welcome Back program.
Infamous.
Yeah.
Dude, what if they had Jackie T come out and do it again?
Yeah.
Just as 10
Exact
years later,
same
10 years
thing.
older, he just does the same thing. That'd be amazing.
Yeah.
PlayStation stock would shoot up if we had Jackie T doing anything again.
I think that's true. I think a lot of people, yeah, I mean,
Here's Infamous again. Here's Uncharted 2. Like,
There's a bunch of games you can't even play on current consoles.
yeah, I was gonna say,
Like,
we can't even
streaming.
play Infamous
They're
now.
never
That would
down.
actually,
Master
that would
Chief
be a
Collection.
hit.
Play them.
Delvin, listen, that would be a hit if they were like, here's native Infamous on PS5.
Oh, I got
Not
it.
on PS5. Just the same.
Oh, just on, we've added it to your PS3 library. You can go back and play that shit if you want.
Give them the PlayStation Greatest Hits digital like photo album or whatever they call them.
Wow.
Like
You know, like when you buy like the super duper edition and you get like a photo album, like, ooh, look, here's all the art.
Yarden says, I would have given them one day. What are they going to do? Leave and go buy an Xbox?
See,
a good
that is my pettiness. I would
This
be
is
like,
the
"You're
sad
lucky we don't
state that we
take
are now
away-
with where
Yeah.
Xbox.
they should have said that.
You're lucky we
We
don't
gonna go
take
buy
away a
Xbox?
couple days
Fuck
from your
off.
thing for complaining.
Dev's
What?
just like, fuck you guys.
I wonder if there is
1000%.
a they had a meeting.
Yeah,
They're
like,
like,
we don't
hey,
negotiate with terrorists.
That's
hey
awful,
boss, I think
Dev.
we should give them a month.
That's
Fuck
terrible,
that.
Dev.
We'll give
It's
them a
the
day.
Fucking
entitlement.
terrible, man. It's
It's
just
the
terrible.
entitlement.
It's
that
not
drives
entitlement when you
me
pay for it. They
insane.
pay for the service that went down.
Shit goes down.
Not when you pay for
Deal.
it.
Yeah.
Yes, when you
Listen,
pay for
No,
it.
listen,
actually, it does.
listen. No,
I pay for my
I'm,
it goes
listen,
down. It
I
happened.
realize that outages happen. Of course, like I said, I run a multi-server application. I get it. But I will say, over the years, this seems to happen more to PlayStation than it does others, and that's a problem.
Yeah.
When was the last time Steam was offline for entire days at a time? I can't remember.
No. Yeah.
Yeah.
I still do not feel
I
like
can't remember my Xbox network being off for a weekend like that. I don't recall that happening.
Shit's off. Go outside. Like, I guess
Dev,
for me,
Dev
it's
said
just
touch
not
grass.
that
I advise
big a
PlayStation to go
deal.
outside.
It's always
not a-
there. It's always
It's not
there.
a necessity thing. It's not. This is nothing you need.
Yeah, that's
will
where I
be
get off.
okay.
That's where I get off the ride. You're right. Like if it were me and I only had a PlayStation, I just watch a movie or something. I get it. But like I said, you work all damn week and your only solace is to play that game and you pay for the service to play the game. You should be able to play the game. And if you can't, they should do right by you. There's nothing wrong with
Dude,
that.
they gave you 5 more days. So the day you lost, you got back and then some.
And that's fine. I honestly think that's like bare minimum. It's not wrong. It's fair. They could have done a little more. It would have cost them nothing to do more. They didn't have to. I'm not saying they should have. They could have. That's all. But I'm not gonna yell or dismiss or tell anybody that wanted to play a game they should go outside. I'm not gonna do that.
Go
'Cause
outside.
you paid money for that fucking service.
1,000%.
You let Netflix do this and the fucking world would lose its shit.
Oh, they would have a fit.
Oh, people would like Trump would be talking about it. If Netflix was off for a day, they'd fucking it would be mainline news. All right. So I'm not gonna say
Cry
that to
me a
people.
goddamn river, build a bridge, and get the fuck over that shit.
I'm not gonna say that to people.
I so would. And this is why I'm not in PR. You
Especially
don't want
when
me in
so
your
many
PR.
people are like locked in for like year-long contracts or extended contract. Like if the service goes off for an extended period of time, you should be able to cancel, get a refund.
I totally get
Right.
the frustration when you want to sit down and play a game and you are unable to play the game. I'm not going to deny any of that.
So now
But-
there's a whole
but-
different conversation there, Snurts, where I think a lot of people woke up to like, because here's the thing: a lot of the gamers that are tweeting and stuff about this today weren't here in 2011 like we were. And I think a lot of people just realized the real ramifications of DRM in the console space for the first time, and they were like, "Holy shit!"
Yeah.
100%. I mean, that's why I still have my 360 and Sega Genesis. Because guess what? I don't even have the 360 plugged into the internet anymore. I
posted a picture of my 64, and I was like, "Just saying, like this shit works, man."
So I totally get the frustration, but again, I also relate to Dev because we live in a society that is just saturated with entertainment options.
Oh, 100. Yeah, you've got 1,000 things you could do.
Like
100%.
if like one thing doesn't work out, take a beat, be upset, get the fuck over yourself, and move on to something else for the day.
100%. Yeah, there's tons of things you can do.
Right.
I'm just not going to be mad at the person that's upset, especially like you had the Monster Hunter beta.
Sure.
It's a huge deal. And you had the Helldivers special weekend, right? Now, kudos to both of them. They were like, we're going to find ways to make up those windows for you, which is great. Right. They do good by their players.
I would be more upset buying a game on pre-order where I get early access and I cannot play the early access that you promised me than I would be of like an outage that randomly happens. Because I feel like one is
a beta.
Because I feel like one is like a direct promise and the other is just kind of something that happened.
Did you have to pre-order to get into the beta, or was it just open?
The beta was an open beta. Anybody could play it.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. So they'll figure it out.
I saw a lot of the Monster Hunter folks were pretty upset.
I'm sure. Yeah.
Sure. I mean, it sucks, right? Nobody wants it to go down. It sucks. But yeah.
Life happens.
Listen, we've traded a lot of things in the ways of convenience. And I think a lot of people maybe woke up a little bit to this. It's like, there's a lot of single player games that either require an internet connection or require ownership, which requires an internet connection. Like if people learn that your disk drive that you had sitting over there that you were like, I'll just pull it out. Yeah, that can't pair. You know, in a moment's notice, they can flip that box off at any moment. They can just say none of these devices connect to the network anymore, and then now none of your shit works. Now we have traded, so it's like they can close the store, and then we can always still download our games from our library. But the moment network services are cut from the box, and we've traded convenience with the idea that they won't do that, or like they won't do it at a time when a lot of people are still using the box. And I think that's fair. I think that's probably true. But I don't know. I'm going to throw out an arbitrary number. 20 years from now, Xbox is like, we're not going to keep network services on the Xbox One anymore. Those services are like that console's just bricked then. Like you can have the game, you can have the disc, you can have everything, and they just brick the whole fucking thing and it doesn't work. You know, like that's the console. That is that space now. Because they've built into it planned ops. Like what they're going to keep doing is they're going to keep making boxes that have your library and force you to upgrade. Right? That's the point, is to keep you coming back. So that's the console market now. Even Nintendo has digital checks for digital games. You have to check ownership. You hit the icon and it goes checking and verify, and then it goes. If you can't check that verification, can't play. So,
oh well.
Now we do have the primary consoles, right? You can set your console to primary and you can play offline for some period of time. I don't remember what it was. I thought it was like 3 or 4 weeks. Yeah,
it's like 30 days.
Now,
so like
on Nintendo, I think if the game is
this outage shouldn't have affected you.
If the game is fully on your system or on the cartridge on the Nintendo, I think if you're primary, you can just go offline and play it indefinitely. You don't need that network check. But if it's a digital game, I think you do. I think. So
I don't know.
Yeah, it's just kind of weird that like back in the day, you just really worry about power outages. That was, no electricity, no video games.
Electricity, yeah.
Now it's like, oh wait, I don't have internet. That's not going to work. Damn you, Spectrum, or PSN is down. Damn you, Sony, type of thing. And I totally get that. And I do wonder,
forever physical,
like, if like this will create kind of like really niche market where people are like, no, I want something that's like just all native on my device.
You better buy one of those fucking Retrons or a 64,
something like that.
You better have something.
Yeah.
I mean, I also think this is a good example as to why maybe having multiple platforms to play on, or if one goes offline, you have other alternatives.
Also,
so set to one thing.
It's the flip side of the coin too, because we love having these games that can be constantly updated. I mean, you think of like No Man's Sky.
Do we love that?
No, I do. I love the idea that like a game can continue to get better throughout time if they're still working on it and they can continue to innovate on it. And the way they do that is by having a connection to the internet and all that other kind of stuff. So like, you know, there's the good side of all this connectivity, and there's a reason we've gone down this road, besides just corporate greed and money.
When do you think they'll shut off network services to a box?
I mean, it's good.
We haven't seen it yet, right? Like they shut off the
to
store to
like,
PS3, but network services still exist. And I think
didn't they
for
cancel
the Wii and
Xbox
the
Live
Wii U
for?
too.
Did they cancel Xbox Live already for the 360? Like you can't.
No, they shut the store down.
They shut the store down.
But you can still, if you've got game, you can still log in and play and turn them on and play multiplayer and stuff.
Oh, and you can play multiplayer if you have an Xbox Live account. Okay.
Is how long do they like? What do we think that plan is for a console maker? Like do they wait for a certain number, like less than 1,000 players, or are they just like after 20 years we're just turning off? Like you should have upgraded by now. Because when that happens, this is all going to be brought up again, and that'll be like the inflection point for people to maybe evaluate how much this matters to them. And I'm wondering if by then we're all just streaming games in the cloud anyway. Like it may not ever matter.
They push a final update to make it so where this system no longer needs
enable
to check
offline
for stuff.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
That would be nice.
Because otherwise you're going to have people really pissed off that they bricked it. You know, so just like, hey, we're done.
To do that? I don't trust them to do that.
I trust people to complain about it. I don't trust anything else.
I don't trust them to do that at all. They're going to be like, hey, if you want to play these games, we have a console for you. That's the alternative. The alternative isn't to be like, oh yeah, we'll just turn all that shit on for you.
We're not even going to let you download games in your library from the servers anymore. Like you get that 2 terabyte hard drive full, and
you
that's
see,
what
like,
you got for the rest of time.
This is the whole purpose of GOG, right? DRM free game. You just buy the game on GOG Galaxy, and you have it on your PC, and it can't be taken from you, and you don't have to check a connection. You know, it's an admirable thing, but we've lost that as consumers. I won't say they've taken away from us. We've given them that.
Oh, sure.
We've
I mean, I remember
that.
The Diablo 2 to Diablo 3 switch. I remember people bringing up some ridiculous examples of why this is terrible for everybody. And they're like, look, people used to play Diablo 2 on like aircraft carriers in the Navy, and now they won't be able to do LAN parties anymore because you always have to be online. And I'm just like, I think they got bigger things to worry about than playing Diablo on an aircraft carrier. But it's a very fair point at the same time. And that was years ago. And
I've personally,
still, you know, it's trade-offs. We love this online accessibility and connectivity, but there are trade-offs to it because it does cost money to keep these like services alive. And eventually some penny pusher in a corporation is going to be like, nah, we're cutting this line item.
I personally value Switch that way a lot because we still have the cartridge.
Sure.
You know, we still have the cartridge. And a lot of games ship complete, especially like the limited run stuff that comes late. You know, it ships complete on cartridge. And as long as I have that cartridge and I have a battery in that Switch, I can turn that fucking thing on, airplane mode, network be damned, and I can put it in there and I can play it. Just like I could on my Super Nintendo and I could on my N64, right? And they can't take it away from you. But we are rapidly running further and further away from that reality. So
there you have it, people. You want to be able to play games forever and ever? Buy a Switch 2, and you should be good. I think we beat this into the ground.
Dev's like, we're moving on.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Elden Ring Night Rain. Oh, hi, Delvin. You're still here. Elden Ring Night Rain has a spin-off multiplayer game or is announced at the Game Awards. Its release date is May 30th.
Elden Ring nerds like it.
Yep, good for them.
That you are nerds.
No, not anymore.
Where is
you were
that?
all
where
in.
is
Yeah.
your Elden Ring? Where is it?
Yeah, how is
You
that?
traded in? Because this is somebody who has too many games. He's got so many games. He doesn't even know what Elden Ring
You
is.
talked about Elden Ring for like a month. You are nerds.
Yeah, and I gave up in that same.
Okay. Crysis 4 is on hold as its director left Crytek, and Crytek had laid off 15% of its staff. Unity also had layoffs. There's like several developers had layoffs today.
Yeah.
So.
Wow.
I always liked seeing the Crysis games when I was testing at EALA because they were just
Can
so
it run
pretty.
Crysis? Everybody loves it.
And it was a lot of fun to like go away from the Mercenaries game with the shitty ass graphics and then go like check out the
point.
Crisis Bros. Hey guys, what are you doing? Can I play your setup while you're at lunch for like 15 minutes? Is that cool?
I really like Crisis. It's super fun.
It's
Pretty game.
I forgot about it and I was like, wow, did I like that game? I think I like that game. I kind of want to go back now.
It blew my mind that like I've always liked Crisis. And it blew my mind that I liked Crisis and like never gave Far Cry a chance. And in so many ways they're very similar. And it wasn't until I found Far Cry and I was like, oh, I fucking love this. Because I think Far Cry to me in a lot of ways is a better Crisis.
Yes.
Like it's a less systems driven Crisis, right? It's more polished. I like the gunplay better. But in a lot of ways they're very similar games. But I played Crisis 1 and 2. I want to say a decade before I played my first Far Cry game, like a long time.
I know we're going on too long, but Donnie, one of these days you and I should have a Far Cry discussion because my introduction to this series was Primal, and then I kind of worked myself out from that, and it's since been becoming one of my favorite first-person shooter
yeah,
franchises.
I fucking love me
there.
some Far Cry,
Yeah.
but it took. I mean, I give Kevin. We had a guy on the team, Kevin, for years. It took Kevin to get me to play it, and then I played it and was like, "Oh, this is my shit, though."
It came back to the point where I don't think I played 1 and 2, but I went back as far as 3. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I really
moving on.
wanted to play Far Cry 6 this weekend. I had a hankering for it.
Well, if you ever want to do co-op and run around with a bear and a
Yeah,
oh no, wait,
you don't want
that's
to do that.
it's
No.
mountain one.
You don't want to do that at all.
No, no, that's 5. I was getting 5
5
mixed up. Yeah,
The best
because I
one.
recently played 5.
The
and then I was
goat.
starting to play 6 again. There's something about 6 that doesn't hit me as good as 5.
'Cause
I
it's
don't know
not as
why.
good. Yeah, no, that's correct. It's not as good.
God.
It to me
It's
is the same.
not.
It's very much the same game. To be honest,
Similar.
It's just a different setting.
But not as good.
Like it feels very, very similar. The only difference really is like the super pack thing with the rockets shooting out and whatnot. But anywho,
All right. Jez says Hellblade is coming to Hellblade 2 is coming to PlayStation.
We already
Which, yeah, like I love. He's like, hey everybody, this is coming. It's like, yeah, no fuck, no shit, man.
no
Like,
shit. We knew.
yeah, I've been saying that for like what months. I was like, I'm telling y'all,
I can't wait
it's
to get
coming
that
sooner or
disc
later.
copy though.
I do have a question for you,
Disc
Donnie.
copy.
I never played Hellblade 1. If I just dive into Hellblade 2, is that
No,
a
no,
faux pas?
No.
Do I have
Yeah.
to go back to
Play
1?
the first one. Yeah.
Play the first one.
First one's worth playing.
So here's the thing. Both experiences are great. Hellblade 2 is a better game, as it should be. I think most sequels you expect that. But the totality of the series and the story is really the whole point of playing.
Okay.
It's a story-focused game.
Yep. Got
And
it.
if you don't understand her journey for the first one, it won't mean as much in the second one.
Kind of like
the second one is
kind of
her-
like Mass Effect. Like you really should play 1, 2, 3.
But very different. Like in concept, yes, but in actuality,
I'm just
even
talking
a little
loose
bit.
concepts here. I'm not
You
talking
said
the
Mass
one to
Effect.
one.
No, don't sully
Yeah,
my
don't
game.
do
with
that.
Mass
Don't do
Effect.
that.
Oh,
It's just her first game is a very internal struggle, and then the second game is her coming to odds and grip like with why that's happening and the external.
Yeah, it
factors
sounds like
that led to
Shepard,
that.
all right. You're absolutely right, Donnie.
Oh my!
It's kind of like Mass Effect, but not at all like Mass Effect.
Don't, yeah,
I'm
don't-
just saying
don't say that.
story-wise because it's a connective story between the 3 games.
Stop.
That's all I
Please
was
stop.
getting at.
Please
Very
stop.
different.
I don't know. You're getting so upset and it's late. I feel like I might just keep going.
Please stop.
So there's like Hellblade is like, this is my favorite store in the Citadel.
Yes,
Oh my!
it definitely does that.
My internal struggle is which is my favorite store.
The ending for Hellblade 2 is so rewarding. Having
Cool.
played the first one,
Okay.
yeah.
hopefully they'll release like a super pack that has both of them remastered for PS5.
With
Yeah.
a statue, that'd be
Oh, yeah.
fucking
Disc,
amazing.
Statue, a disc,
A collector's
everything the Xbox version
edition
didn't have.
would be great. Who
A
could think of
controller?
such a fucking thing?
I was gonna say controller, poster,
Oh
stickers.
my
Yeah, everything
fucking
that you
God.
want for it. You're like, we didn't
At
have
this
time
point,
to
I just want
Xbox.
Xbox to sell the damn game.
We're gonna give
Plushie.
it to the
Just
true
sell it.
fans.
Just get rid of it.
Hellblade
PlayStation fans.
The game absolutely broke me. That's it, Jeff. That's the news.
All right. Rude Day scoring update. NBA and NFL insider Devin got both the Super Bowl winner and Luka under 28.5 right. Donnie, you got the Super Bowl winner right, and Delvin got a big old 0. Score
0.
is Devin 6, Delvin 6, Donnie 3. He also says, Donnie, if you want, we can do a vote for seasons or going the full year
You do
on
your thing,
scores.
You do your thing. Don't worry about me.
Yeah, he said the seasons were mainly to stop him from having to go back months.
Yeah, and
to
I get
find
that.
an
And
answer,
I like
but he's
that.
good.
But that just means I take that as I can fuck around with it more.
See, I like the idea of seasons because that means I can win more. So I could possibly win several seasons.
That's the only way
gives
you
me
could
more-
win is if we cut it down to the smaller chunks.
Yeah, I'm with that because if I can win more seasons, I'm here for that. That's more wins. That's more me rubbing it in your faces. I won.
What are you
multiple
rubbing? Stop rubbing yourself.
that.
Whoa, who's rubbing? You're not rubbing me. You need to rub. You keep your rubbing to yourself.
I start with
Some
the
dry rub
nipples
going.
and I go down south.
Goodness.
So yeah, that's the score. Fuck the Chiefs. I'm so glad Philly won.
Me too. I actually really enjoyed that game. I thought it was a very entertaining Super
I
Bowl.
enjoyed it very much too.
And I shout out to my friends in Chatsworth, a bunch of idiots who did not recognize that it was a PlayStation themed set for Kendrick Lamar's halftime show. And I'm like, no, that's a PlayStation controller. He's doing something with the PlayStation here. And I thought it was a very beautiful visually. I thought it was a great halftime
he was
show.
paying homage to like he's a gamer, like he games, so he did all that specifically to honor PlayStation and how much it's meant to him and his journey. So yeah,
like when they did the aerial shot and they had the symbols of the facing buttons, right, and then the trackpad almost
the sacred symbols, nerds. You run a goddamn PlayStation podcast.
Oh, is that what
Our
they're
PlayStation crew fucking sucks, man.
Oh, it does. Yeah.
Glad you know that.
Yeah. Also, like, I always love it too when people are like, "You remember that thing on PlayStation 3?" No, because I was on 360 at that time. I don't. I don't.
Those things that represent PlayStation.
Oh my!
Do you remember the
God.
PS1? No, I had an N64.
Nice, my man. I didn't watch 1 second of any of that. Had no idea about any of it.
My friends throw a great party every year, so I'm always in. And because I work in advertising, the ads.
I didn't even know it was Sunday. I got on chat with Rebecca. Rebecca was like, "It's a big day," and I was like, "What? What day is it?"
I was like, Jesus,
I was so fucking out of it. Like I have no awareness.
Yeah. Okay. I didn't care.
I like a good blowout, so I'm here for blowouts.
I thought
For
it was
me,
fun.
somebody whooping somebody's ass completely, I'm here for it.
When they were so far in the lead, sorry to cut you off there, Delvin, but like, and you thought they were just gonna, like, the Eagles were just gonna run the ball. They're like, no, Hail Mary pass, touchdown. I was like, yes, yes. Yeah.
Wasn't a good week for light-skinned brothers.
First of all, I already told you, we don't claim him. He is not one of us. We do not claim Patrick.
Once he put on the red hat.
Is that who Kendrick was talking about? Talking about two lights.
He's just brothers? Patrick. Okay, he's just Patrick. We don't claim him. It's just Patrick. Hate that dude. Ugh.
Fried chicken.
Exactly. All right. Anyways, over under 83.5 for Assassin's Creed Shadows. Assassin's Creed Valhalla averaged an 82.
It's too low for Valhalla. I'm going over.
This game is mired in controversy.
Always. What would any Ubisoft game be
game.
without it? It's every Ubisoft game. They just have people that just hate them. At this point, they need to sell just to rename the company and get a different look.
I mean, I didn't follow Valhalla, so I had no idea it had any controversy. But the controversy around this one is very different. Just all the racial undertones and just people big mad at that stuff. So I'm just wondering
every
if that's
Far Cry game
review scores.
I think that might
every Far Cry game.
Yeah, but I feel like there's a weird special segment that's like there can't be black people in Japan.
Okay.
That's a real thing. Yeah, that's a thing.
And I think that's going to push it over the edge versus the average stupidity that we get with these kind of attacks. And I do think they're going to like review bomb this, to be honest.
Yeah.
I worry about that, but on the flip side, this shit looks great, and they've delivered twice.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
honestly, it's the first Assassin's Creed game I've been interested in buying in a long time, probably since Black Flag.
Same here. It's the first one that's
Yeah.
piqued my
That's
interest
awful.
since Black Flag. Yeah.
Black
I
Flag. God
appreciate
damn.
it.
Hey
Black
man,
Flag.
I like pirates.
Donnie
I-
made the
Jesus
face.
Christ.
You're talking to
that,
somebody. I'm sorry, Delvin. Go ahead.
Donnie made the face. You'll get this. Who was his name from The Simpsons when he gave Lisa the Valentine?
Oh. Ralph Wiggum.
Ralph gave.
I choose you.
She yelled at him. He's like,
When he breaks his heart.
He breaks
I
his
never
heart.
liked you. No. And then Bart is like, you can see exactly where his heart broke.
that's what happened with Donnie. You said Black Flag.
Yeah.
You've missed so much.
Also, sea
Have we?
shanties. The
Yeah.
sea shanties were amazing.
You should play. Fuck off. The
Oh,
sea
so
shanty- Black
good.
Flag
Yeah.
fucking sucks.
I didn't like
Also,
Black Flag either.
God,
That was
Black
the last
Flag
one.
suck. You're
Black
like, I
Flag
haven't
is
liked
what-
anything as a Black Flag. You've missed
I
Syndicate,
haven't been
Origins, Odyssey, Valhalla. All these are better than Black Flag.
I am a
I've tried them
history
all.
major
Unity.
who focused on pirates for like 6 months.
Well, that's not the good pirates.
It's actually pretty historically accurate.
Who cares?
I do.
It's not fun.
Me.
Nobody wants to
Thanks.
line up your ship sideways and go, "Arr, yar." That's nobody likes
Look,
that.
I loved lining up.
Kyle-
ships and
Kyle-
Well,
blasting.
guess what?
Absolutely.
You need to go get your skull and bones on, and we've got a game for you, Snurts.
I don't need that. I got Black Flag. I can just boot that
Oh.
up anytime I need.
Aren't they
They're
supposed to be
They're
remastering Black Flag?
remastering Black
Can't
Flag.
wait.
That's the
It's gonna
next
be good.
game.
It's gonna be the
Oh
best.
my fucking
Yeah,
God.
Black Flag
Yeah.
is what.
You're
turned me
lucky
off
I'm not
Assassin's
running the
Creed.
show tonight, Snurts.
I just like finding something that disgusts you and then just poking the bear. Just poke,
God
poke,
damn
poke,
it! I
poke,
love
poke,
you,
poke.
Snurts. You are the fucking best.
Here I am staying up to the end because I thought it'd be nice.
We
And
love
now
you.
Reekins, I'm like, I should.
No, it's
leave.
great.
Appreciate
So great.
it.
Mary
so
Reed
much.
was there.
I should.
and
I could
Bonnie.
just go.
No.
I should go.
Fuck.
I'm
gonna go with the
over.
over.
we got it late.
83 and a half is high, but
Yeah.
I think this is gonna get an 85. I think it's gonna be a really good Assassin's Creed game.
I do too.
I don't trust people though.
Fuck 'em.
If this last year has shown me, we don't trust society. They can't be trusted.
Well, we do have like the parent company for IGN owns like 80% of all the reviews.
Oh,
So like they could just be like, it sucks now.
Hey,
And,
they're
like,
the worst. They're the.
I'm not talking about
worst.
IGN. It's IGN's parent company owns like all of the magazines.
Yeah.
Like, they own all
It's
the
all
websites.
one big happy network. That's
It's
why you
like
see
all
Hobby-
of them. They own everything, I think, except for like VGC. They own everything else.
It's so wild to me when I like see copy pasted articles across multiple websites. Like I'll be trying to look for news articles for the show. I'm like, well, that's just literally the same thing I just
It's
read on
same
the other
thing.
one.
Yeah. That's definitely
Wow.
become more and more of a thing.
Delvin, over, under.
You should play Syndicate.
Okay.
It's
I'll
really good.
go the under.
All right.
And it's that old style too. It's not the giant RPG.
But I like giant RPGs.
Well, Black Flag wasn't that.
No, it wasn't. No. I honestly, I'm so out of it. I will give something a shot. Maybe it's weird. I
He's
did
like,
look
I'll
at
give something a shot. Maybe not.
like
not
I,
really.
if it's like
I
under
think
20, if
it's something.
it's like
He
under
said
20
Assassin's
bucks.
Creed. I'll give something a shot eventually.
Yeah. And then I'll just
Syndicate
go-
is the only one that I might actually.
Yeah,
play.
because you don't
Really?
like the Witcher
Okay.
versions, right? But you said you love a big ass giant game.
I do. I just don't want
Not
to.
you. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to Snurts. Snurts, you said you love a big ass giant game.
I
Something
can't.
you can get
Yeah.
lost into. So why not
Sure.
give Odyssey or Valhalla a try?
I just
Valhalla's
never. I actually I would probably like Valhalla because I'm also a big Viking fan.
I love Valhalla. It's my favorite.
I think it just never has come across with
It
like, a
also
price,
has its own like
price point that I'm like
sequel
willing
game,
to go for.
where it's got
Yeah,
Valhalla
no.
Ragnarok, which is its own fucking mythical expansion separate game, and it's like 40 hours in its own right.
Yeah, I honestly have no real logical explanation of why I fell off of the Assassin's Creed train. I just
Yeah, but
started
Black Flag
it.
Remastered's got him, but he's like, I'm back, baby.
Again, it's pirates.
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 I want to throw an egg at you or something.
Go for
It's
it.
like,
Dude,
it
if
really
you can
upsets
throw
me.
an egg from Atlanta to LA.
It just really upsets me. He's like, I haven't played any of these for a decade, but I'm back, baby. Black
yeah.
Flag, fucking Kenway, whatever. Ugh.
I actually bought Black Flag on my PS5 because I had it on the 360
Oh my
for like
fucking God.
$5, and then I was like, "Oh, this combat is so stiff. I'm moving on."
Yes.
It did feel very. I think I was trying to chase down a sea shanty because I really do like the sea shanties, and like I wanted to jump forward.
That's the
but
whole
I
thing you
jumped,
said
like,
about the game is
left.
just sea shanties.
I'm like,
Mm.
what
Only
the
thing that
hell?
matters.
They have Valhalla shanties. You can sit there and sing to each other on the boat.
Yeah. Yo ho ho.
Why
with a
isn't it?
bottle of rum.
It's literally the same thing.
Yeah, it's different culture.
Yeah, I
Not
can see
pirate
that.
enough.
Not pirate enough.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it's almost like why don't you like knights? If you, well, I do like knights. Never mind. That whole argument.
See.
That's a good one.
You just failed your own argument.
He's like, listen, it's not
Moving
the same,
on.
except, but it is.
Yeah,
the
let's
same, I
move
guess.
on. Like, let's not go down this rabbit hole.
Yes.
Over under 77.5 for WWE 2K5.
that
WWE 2K24 scored a surprisingly high 81.
Is
Is
the
this
one with the
island thing? I just want to vote against it now.
mean,
I literally
it's got
saw
the
this
island.
and was like, fuck this game. Never mind.
77.
It's got the island, but the
Feels
wrestling game
right.
looks cool.
It feels right.
So over or under, Delvin?
This is hard. I'm gonna go over.
Over. Okay.
Like 7.
I too am taking the over. I think that it's going to be 80.
Yeah.
I'll take the under.
All
Only
right.
because I haven't liked WWE 2K in like 5 years. So
It's just gonna be the same goddamn game.
yeah, I know.
It's literally gonna be the
It's the
same game.
island.
Except the island mode. That's what
Just
they got.
island mode.
They've 2K'd the WWE series finally.
Apparently, it has like 300 wrestlers in it. Half of them
It
are
looks cool.
already gone, working indies now. So, fine.
I'm waiting for them just to put AW in WWE 2K. Just call it a day.
Let's do it.
Somebody will. They'll make a roster for it. And they'll put
Oh
them
yeah,
on the
we
game.
do.
You
Yeah,
just
they do
download
every
that.
time. Every game, they make all the other characters.
And then you can take them to the island.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Run around the island with Kenny Omega, baby.
There it is. All right, question time.
Hurry up.
Kyle the Pug says, rank your top 3 favorite Super Bowl halftime shows of all time.
First and foremost, fuck
Dial
you,
on.
Bug.
Dial
That
on.
was funny. I was like, hurry up. Get this shit over with.
My favorite one.
God damn it, Pig.
Prince was my favorite halftime show.
That's a great one.
I think it's
I
much
really
better than
liked
that.
He
Purple
said right
Rain
in the
in the rain. Like, come on, fuck on, man. Like that was pretty fucking amazing.
Michael Jackson, Prince, and I can't remember too many other ones.
Janet Jackson.
There you
I
go.
was at the Lady Gaga one, so maybe that's biased, but being there in person made it pretty fucking awesome.
Oh, nice. I really like Dre, Eminem, Snoop Dogg.
That was a good one.
I was having so much fun. Those are some of my favorite rappers.
The one I remember from a youth, I don't know if it's good because I haven't watched it many years, but I remember that like it stuck with me. So apparently at some point in my life, I thought it was really good. Was when I was younger at one of the Super Bowls, they had like a Sounds of Motown halftime show.
Oh, sure.
And I remember that
Yeah,
shit
yeah,
being fucking fire as like a kid. So I'll throw that one out there.
I'm going to go with the Dr. Dre, Eminem, Snoop, all of that. I do not watch the halftime shows most of the time. That is a time for me to get up and go do something else. I do not care about a halftime show. This Kendrick one was awesome, and the Dre one was awesome. I can't even tell you any other ones that I've actually watched.
I think most of the Bruno ones were really good too. He just kind of is like a really good halftime act. He
Yes.
kind of fits that whole thing. Yeah.
He's
Didn't
awesome.
the
in
Weeknd
concert.
do it too?
I think
Yeah, he did. I didn't see that one. I didn't see.
He
Bruno
also
Mars
seems
either.
to me like a very good
I remember the
like
Weeknd.
halftime act.
A lot of coke talk.
Nobody for Janet's titty out. Nobody wants to.
That's
go
what
out?
I said earlier. Yeah, Janet
Oh,
is
sorry.
definitely one of them up there, just because it was such a. It was. I liked
Infamous.
it. It's infamous for sure. The wardrobe malfunction and all that other kind of stuff. But I mean, that's the only one I really remember from my youth. And now as an adult, like I'm like, oh wait, it's actually performers that I was listening to when I was a kid. Where
Yeah.
before they would do like the weird like Aerosmith with what In Sync or something like that from back in the day,
Britney
and I was just like,
Spears.
I
Yeah.
don't care, really.
That was a weird one where they were like very current. They normally aren't so like current pop culture. They usually, I think
Yeah.
they've usually skewed towards older thing.
I think the last like 5 or 6 have all been way more current.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, I agree
Yes.
with you. It seems to be a shift that they've been trying to make.
It was like
And then I will
Beyonce,
do
Rihanna.
a shout out to Jennifer Lopez and Shakira, who just, I remember watching this young man who was at the Super Bowl party, just like eyes glued to the screen. I was like, yeah,
Yes.
someone became a fucking man today. And then I saw the same person who was like now like a late high schooler, you know, and so I'm like, hey man, you're still doing great, all that stuff. And he's like, after the halftime show with Kendrick Lamar, it's like there was more booty in the past, and I was like, yes,
Wow.
yes. Young
Wow.
man is feeling the party vibes. Good for you. Your dad's right
I think
there. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it.
The Tom Petty show was good. And I remember the U2 show, I think, was after September 11th. For some reason, I feel like that was a big thing then.
So according to Entertainment Weekly, U2 is number 3, Prince is number 2, and number 1 is Beyonce.
Which one? Hasn't she done like 3 or 4 of them?
2013 Beyonce.
New Orleans? I was there for that one, I think.
Most of them at New Orleans, so sure.
Yeah, I was there. I was in the dome that one.
New Orleans and Miami are the 2 most popular Super Bowl.
That was my
spots
first
overall.
Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Yeah, Serge, you have been around. You know, I've been at 4 Super Bowls.
Wow, I've never seen a live NFL game before.
Wow. I mean, I was there for work.
I wouldn't do it again.
I was there for work.
I would do it if I had like some like work or like.
So you're talking about like your. I've got a few chances in your life where you got to feel like rich. That's it for me.
Yeah.
I've had all access passes to 4 Super Bowls.
Yeah,
And the most pretentious thing I can tell you and tell everyone, it's overrated.
There you go.
I believe it.
Like there's so many people that were like, oh, it's like their live stream to go, or they spend, 10, 20, 30. It is overrated. 100%.
The one time I got really
By my third one, I was like, can we leave? It was like, can we get the fuck out of here? I kid you not. But yeah, I was in New Orleans when the lights went out. I was in Houston and Minneapolis and Atlanta. So
nice.
All right. So Stingray, to piggyback on Kyle's question, what was your favorite Super Bowl matchup? Niners versus anybody, baby.
That's a harder one for me because I haven't watched the game so much.
I have one.
What you got, Delvin?
The Giants versus the Patriots.
Was that the Manning or the catch and the helmet catch and all that?
Yes, that's the one with Eli.
Who was that? Tyree?
Yeah, when Eli beat Tom Brady.
That was a big one because that was like Moss's ring that they stole from him and the undefeated season and all that.
Yeah,
there was so much riding on that game.
I loved it because Eli Manning, the lesser Manning, ended up being like the Tom Brady killer. It was kind of awesome. Like,
oh, sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I just remember back in the 90s enjoying the constant feud between the 49ers, Cowboys, and Green Bay, and I was more on the 49ers side of things. So, but
that's an unfortunate side for you to be on, wasn't it?
Yeah. It's weird when they talk about Steve Young and he's like, he's the best left-handed quarterback ever. I'm like, that is a specific ass stat. That's very specific.
He had the greatest quarterback rating for a long time. Steve Young.
No,
Steve
you guys
Young
don't
was
understand.
a beast.
Fucking incredible.
I had the Steve Young hat, the jersey, and I was wearing that like every day I could, in high school and whatnot. So like I was a fan because I thought he was the spiritual successor of Joe Montana.
Of course he
was.
He was. Right. And then it just concussion.
Honestly, he's like the
spiritual.
He was like the spiritual successor of John Elway in more ways than Montana.
Yeah. But I don't have any like personal connection to any of this stuff. To me, it's just like it's a fun time. And because again of my day job, I could probably tell you that like, oh yeah, we had Christopher Walken and a Kia ad back in the day, like more than I could tell you what Super Bowl matchup really.
I remember the Cowboys ring. Home. I remember Emmett and Troy and Dion and them. I remember Irvin. I remember that one. That's a memorable.
I remember that one because it should have been the Niners. They stole Dion from us after we bought 94 Super Bowl. We had all of Dallas's team. We took Ken Norton. We had Dion. We had a lot of players. And then the next year they all left because we couldn't afford them. And then the Cowboys won. And that was the last time the Cowboys have done anything. They haven't even been to they're the only team to not go to the NFC Championship from the NFC since 96. So fuck them.
Also, is that why Madden 94 is the best? It's because the 49ers are stacked? Or is it 95 for that team?
It's the 94 team. No? Yeah, it would have been 94. Would have been 94 Madden, yeah.
94. Yeah.
So.
I remember Brett Favre winning one. I remember it's like the Marshall Falk one, right?
Yeah, that was a good one.
Who was it? The Titans and the Rams, or the Rams and the Patriots? I can't remember.
I think it was.
I don't know. It's not the Niners, so it
Titans
escapes
and
me.
the Rams, it was.
He was like hanging out right there, like on the 1 yard, like that one, like he was just
Oh, well, the
short.
Rams lost.
Yeah, he was just short with Kurt Warner, right?
The Titans. They lost to the Titans.
Do I have that right? That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
Titans. Yeah.
But the most memorable game for me, again, hate to bring it up, but it was the one in Houston, because I just happened to be there with a contingent of public safety people from Atlanta, diehard Atlanta fans, as they were up like 28-7 on the Patriots, the Atlanta Falcons, Patriots. And when I tell you, look, I'm a Browns fan. Nobody knows more misery as a fan base than us. When I tell you, I'm sitting there at halftime show, like watching Lady Gaga jump off the fucking roof and shit. And these Falcons fans are they're going through it. Like, they are not having a good time. They are fucking on pins and needles. And they're like, we can't let them off the hook. I'm talking the moment Tom Brady scored 1 point, they're like, it's over. It was the biggest, biggest loser mentality I've ever seen. I was like, you have to, like, this is your moment. This is your team. Like, they were like, it's over. I was like, you're up 20 point. They're like, it suck.
Doesn't matter.
Like,
look, I know that because it's the same way when we play against Patrick and his fucking Chiefs.
Yeah.
We're up big. And as soon as they score, it's like, oh shit.
It literally
outcoached and ran through.
It was the first point. I think it was a field goal. They kicked a field and they were like, it's over. It was like the second quarter. I was like, what? And then I watched them. I felt so bad. These people are diehard, lifelong Falcons fans. And just watch them just touchdown after touchdown and just depression. I felt bad. I was the only one having a good time. There were like 40 people, and I was like, this is great.
This is the brilliance of being a casual sports fan, is you just go with whoever you feel like in the moment.
Must be nice.
You know, it is. Like, once I gave up caring about sports became so much more enjoyable.
I bet. Yeah, Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, so last year, as we're starting to lose, my homeboy Todd was over here watching the game with me, and he's also a huge Niner fan. And my wife was like, you two were just like standing there, like just in complete sadness and disbelief, just both standing there with our arms crossed, like as the game was progressing, like pacing around. Like, it sucks to just be like, oh God, we're up. This feels good, but you never feel sure. And you're like,
you can't feel safe.
You don't feel safe.
But Philly did.
Patrick, right? Philly did, because here's the difference.
Like,
they had a scheme that just Patrick couldn't do it. It was sack after sack after sack, pick six.
Yeah, I mean, I was watching like the Ohio State game. I was like, oh, we were balling. Like, I told you guys. I told you at Tennessee. I was like, these kids are different now. Like,
yeah, the Niners.
So I enjoyed that game.
Luck. It's like, it felt like, okay, we've done enough, but we're not really stopping them. They're just screwing up. So if they just kind of get a little oomph, it's over. And that's exactly what happened. But Philly just never let up. They were just in their face constantly, and they couldn't stop them on offense. And
all gas, no brakes, baby.
Yeah. Oh my God. It was almost as to watch them get beat like that was almost as good as a Niner win.
And it was also amazing because even with the last minute scoring where they're just kind of, have fun, kids. They didn't even get to like half. What was it, like 40-21 or something like that? I just amazing play by the Phillies. Hopefully the city survives. Hopefully,
great job, Philadelphia Phillies winning the Super Bowl.
Oh well, no, I meant Philly is in Philadelphia.
We know.
My bad.
I saw
go Bird,
all the
fly,
kids out
Eagles,
school
fly.
to go to the parade.
That's awesome.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Awesome.
I just hope the city survives tomorrow or Friday.
It won't. It won't.
Friday.
They're gonna tear that city apart.
Even the kids are gonna be like, fuck these Valentines. Let's go chaos.
Yeah. And that's that. We're not as destructive in terms of ripping down light poles and shit, but the parade for Cleveland when the Cavs won, that parade was fucking insane.
Sure.
That whole city was locked down for a while. Like you couldn't do shit. Nobody could move. They had to stop the parade. They had to walk back to the stadium. They couldn't get the cars down the street.
LA doesn't have that problem. We're gonna flip over cars and set shit on fire.
Okay.
But there's still enough of the city to get around. But we're gonna destroy some stuff. We're gonna flip cars and
LeBron and
set
JR and K-Love and shit had abandoned posts. They're like, we gotta get you out of here.
No, I was gonna say,
leave the cars. Leave the cars.
Maybe because LA is so spread out, right? Like it's not as concentrated. So like, there's a couple of flare ups here and there.
Yeah, we're good.
We'll just reroute the parade. We'll just reroute.
I mean, much bigger city, right?
Yeah.
Way bigger city.
Much bigger city.
People
It's
do not
just
understand
urban
how
sprawl.
big LA
Urban
is.
sprawl.
Cleveland's a very big, small town. It's not
Correct. Yeah. I mean, it's the same thing like when I visited Nashville. I'm like, oh, this is what a downtown feels like. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, moving on. Tyler Cobb says, I heard Donnie was looking for a Game Shark for the N64. I found one and have no use for it. But real question, are you going to buy any more games for the Switch this year? Absolutely.
I bought a shit ton. I bought a shit ton since he asked this question. I bought like 20 Switch games this week.
God.
Well, I mean, I'm not sure if you've listened to the show, but there's this publisher that runs these crazy sales, and they're selling like a bunch of games for like 19 cents, and I bought a shit ton of them. I spent like $8 and bought like 20 games.
Wow.
One of them was Blackjack.
Nice.
One of them was.
But another one was KO Kangaroo, the remaster, which was awesome. I've been playing that too. And another one was Tales of Arise. Like there's several of them. So
nice.
There's some good ones. There's some bad ones. There's like Stylist Simulator. There's like Dress Up Maker and stuff. So yeah, one of them was called like Foot Exam, where you have to examine like disgusting feet or something. Me and Rebecca did it on Shaq. We went through a bunch of them on the show, but some of them are good too. Some of them are actually good. So yeah, I bought a bunch of them.
I don't know why you put this question in here. Bland Explosion, Mr. Garrett Bland said, why do you not have a 5080 yet?
Yeah, Dev.
I'm not trying to get a 5080.
Mr. PC?
That's why. Yeah, I don't need one. I'll get one when I can afford one. I got $1,000 for no graphics card that's not in stock. Sometime down the road, I'll get one maybe if it falls in my lap. But I'm in no rush.
Mr. PC?
Yeah, my PC runs great. I'm good.
Mr. Trey, Mr. WA, Mr. AK, coming straight out of
Y'all better make way.
For some reason, I can only think of Lose It, and I was like, that does not apply. I was. Oh, we're going so late.
Captain Awesome.
Yeah.
Says, what are some legendary rap
Fucking
battles that you
hour-long
remember?
New York story is what it is, man.
It was great. It was a great story.
It was great. Yeah, that's why I'm still here.
So do any of you remember any legendary rap battles? He says this one of Kendrick and Lamar is pretty much over.
Gold coin and
Kendrick
$50.
and Lamar. Oh my God. He
There you
meant
go.
Kendrick and Drake.
Kendrick and Lamar.
Yeah, that's close enough.
That's some
Kendrick
shit
Lamar
like me.
kind of
I don't know
battling
what
himself.
I don't know what the shit's about any of that's
that
about.
is that I do feel like that is something I would say. Like, have you heard about this Kendrick?
That's
and
exactly
Lamar
some
beef?
shit I would say. I don't know anything about. My wife was giving me full, like I was watching TikTok. People are making funny TikTok I came across. I saw Serena Williams was there.
Yes.
And I was like, why is she there? And I had to get a whole, I was like, I don't care anymore. Like, but I was so she was somebody's ex, and there was the lyrics in the song. And I was like, okay, never mind. It's too complicated. I'm not trying to do all this with my fucking music. Like,
we don't care.
We don't care.
Right now, finally, it took 3 fucking years. We got a question I actually can answer sufficely.
Gold coin and $50. Give it to us.
Bro.
Legendary rap battles. Tupac versus Biggie, of course. Usually,
Yep.
LL Cool J and Cannabis.
LL Cool J and Cannabis. That's a great one.
I asked Rebecca, hang on, I asked Rebecca on Shaq while you were here, Delvin. I was like, did anybody shoot somebody? She was like, no. I was like, back in my day, real rap battle. Like, somebody like, listen here. This rap battle ain't shit. Because back in my day, them shit was fighting words.
Yes.
Clearing out studios.
50 Cent and Ja Rule, of course. another good one.
Was that a battle?
Oh yes,
Yeah.
it was very much a battle.
Mhm.
Okay, I just felt it was
It was a
very
huge
one-sided. But
Yeah, it was one-sided because Ja Rule got it, just much like this Drake battle.
Mhm.
that's what I was thinking. I was like, the
Very
battle
similar.
battle makes it sound like both sides did something. I was like,
Nas and
Ja,
Jay-Z.
I don't think Ja
Nas,
Rule did
Jay-Z.
a whole lot.
One of the legendary ones. One of the most
Mhm.
legendary ones of that. The Locks against Rockefeller, which was
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, everybody in Rockefeller.
yeah, everybody in Rockefeller.
Oh,
So
who
many
did the
great-
Locks? Who did the Locks go against in the verses?
Oh,
Who are the
Dipset.
Locks?
And they whooped
Dipset.
Dipset ass.
Hey, oh
Locks
my
is-
god.
The Locks is Jadakiss, Styles P, and Chic. You
Mhm.
don't know any of those.
Sean
people,
says 50
Warlocks.
Cent and that guy who shot him.
Facts. I do want to appreciate Delvin because like your podcast, when you were going over the rap battles of recent, you also went in the past, and I was like, oh wow, this is much more rich and deep than I ever imagined.
Mhm.
It
Rap-
blew my mind. I was like,
Rap
I
battles-
didn't
Drop
know
the
there was-
plug. What episode is this? Drop the plug. Let people understand. They may want to go listen to it, Delvin.
I don't remember the
That paper-
exact episode number, but
that was-
Damn it,
that-
Snurts.
But yeah, I
Gosh.
talk about rap hip hop a lot. Like there's hip hop and rap battles is part of the culture. It's been part of since the creation of hip hop. That's been the thing, where artists would go against each other in the streets and they'd rap, and whoever's the best.
When
the
was
best.
that? When was the creation?
79, 78?
So
What is
since 79, we've had rap battles in the streets.
Yes,
Yeah.
when they used to use disco
Psych.
music as beats.
Nice.
They used to use disco music and the break loops and disco beats is what made hip hop.
Oh,
I still want to
man.
hear the rap battles of Gold Coin and Dime Piece. Silver dollar.
Dime piece is.
Silver dollar and nickel.
Dre and Easy E.
That's a good one. Ice Cube against all of NWA.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I know that one.
Common versus West Side Connection, which apparently Common almost got killed, legit killed for that. Did you hear that story, Dev?
I didn't.
I saw it, like, I want to say yesterday. There was an interview with Fat Joe where apparently Common was going
Always
in the
fucking
studio.
Fat Joe.
Yes, apparently, and this was confirmed by Common. Apparently, Common was going in the studio to meet up with Fat Joe, and West Side Connection was there,
Mhm.
and they were going to kill Common, like literally kill him.
damn.
And Fat Joe had to talk him on, like, you can't do that here. That's my man. You cannot do that. And if Fat Joe wasn't there, Common would have literally
Now, hang on.
legit died.
I need to ask for
Wow.
clarification because I don't know a lot about a lot of this. When we say rap battles, do we mean like these people met and had a battle of words with rap lyrics? Or are we just talking about beef between two artists?
Both.
Both.
Okay.
Because you can
and
have a
I got-
friendly rap battle, and you can also have
Like did 50 Cent and Ja Rule like actually
yes,
meet
Mhm.
up and have a battle of rap lyrics?
yes, they had a battle of rap lyrics. They
When
had
did that
actual
happen?
fights.
Where did this happen at?
Records, yeah.
Like is it
Well, they didn't meet
documented?
up-
Like can I watch on
Yes.
YouTube or something?
They didn't have they didn't meet face to face. They are documented.
That's what I'm
songs.
meaning.
Yeah.
Oh, so
Usually
they're
not-
just going. It's like dueling song. They're just going back and
correct.
forth.
That's
on
usually
songs.
what
Got it.
rap battle songs.
It's usually dueling songs, but you also do have where like there's a cipher and there's a rap battle. Like
Yeah.
there's
Right.
that too.
Oh, like a roast comic thing where they have the battle of the comics, like where they actually show up and face off, or is that
It'd be
Yeah,
like
that's
your
a
Eight
common-
Mile, your 8 Mile situation.
That's
Like
like
something.
8
Mile,
Mile.
yes.
They call
Yeah,
that the
yeah, yeah.
cipher.
Yeah,
Okay.
Jay-Z and DMX famously had one that went on for
Okay.
apparently hours.
And also, it's episode 243. What's beef featuring T and B Rob from
What's beef?
April
Thank you.
to
Fine.
So I was going to
2024.
ask, didn't the game have some shit with either was it 50 or Eminem back in the day? I feel like I remember
The
that.
He's
game
kinda
had
beef
shit
with
with
everybody.
everybody.
Right?
Everybody.
Didn't he?
Literally
Yeah.
everybody.
Yes.
He had that
Nuts.
single.
That was a big thing.
Oh,
He
Drake
had
and
like a
Pusha
hit
T.
or two.
Pusha T also murdered Drake. Drake needs
Yes,
to really
he did.
stop doing this. He's not good
He's
at this
not
rap
cut
battle
out for
stuff.
this. He's not cut out for this.
Keep-
Starting to sound like a punching bag here.
Yeah.
Yeah, Aubrey
He's
needs to
gone.
sit down. Aubrey
We've
needs to go
talked
have a
about this
seat.
before. I told my wife,
Sonica Free nailed it.
I don't think I
Eminem and
could
the Falcon.
identify one Drake song.
He's now Captain America.
This is how
No
out
longer
of the
felt.
loop I am. Like, I don't
Really? That sounds awesome.
I don't think I know one Drake song.
That's
Like, I
You
guess
would know
I
if-
knew
you
he
would
was
know
an
if you
artist,
heard
but
it.
like I honestly never knew that. Like, why? I was like, why
you know
is
that
he a
that
thing? I don't.
terrible Hotline Bling song. I hate that.
There's
I'm
songs
more
that
familiar
that
with the
you've probably
meme than
heard.
I am with the artist.
But you got to
Yeah.
remember, I haven't listened to the radio in like 15 years, so I'm way out of
Neither
touch.
have I.
You know, so I have no idea.
It is interesting how we kind of I'm the same boat, Donnie. Like we have our bubble of music that we grew up with or that we like.
Yeah,
and
like
then-
I find
and then
new
every
artists
once in
here
a while
and
you
there,
poke out exactly,
but they're
for the
very
most part-
similar to the artists that I already like. I'm not like branching out into a lot of different genres and stuff a lot.
Yeah.
Like it's really got to like penetrate and hit me in a different way. Like that Dochi thing, like I was like, that's just because I like that video. I was like, maybe I want to listen to this maybe.
Yeah.
But like, I'm not out here just sampling new music every day. I'm not doing
Like
that.
it's so funny because people have made fun of me for this before, but I didn't even know who Kendrick Lamar was until the Black Panther movie came out because I love that soundtrack
I
and I thought
still
it was
don't.
amazing.
I
And then
have
people
to
were
find
like,
that soundtrack.
it's
I
like,
still
well,
don't know who he is.
you look
Oh.
white enough for that comment, so I guess we'll just let that slide. You know,
I know the meme. I know like the viral meme of him laughing or staring into the camera. That's about as
Yeah.
much as I know.
When he
Oh,
said, "Hey, Drake."
I like Kendrick now. Like I really went
Yeah,
down a
he's great.
rabbit hole, and that is one of those like newer artists that I let into the bubble.
He's
Nice.
great.
Oh, here's a good one for you. MC8 and DJ Quick.
I remember that one.
Do you remember that one, Delvin?
Yes, I do.
So do
It's a
I.
deep cut. It's a deep cut.
Deep, that's real deep.
Bullshit, Donnie. Bullshit.
I got nothing. I don't even know who this.
Don't try to play.
They literally could probably make up names. I'd be like, huh?
Oh,
Shit, you
absolutely.
got one
I've got nothing.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you remember when like Vader fought Gryffindor? I don't know.
ICP and Eminem.
Wow.
That happened. That was a great one.
Insane
That is-
Clown
that- that's
Posse
a-
and
that's a
Eminem?
legit thing.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
that
yeah.
might be
That
fun.
happened.
Uh-huh.
That might be fun.
What was
I've
the song
contributed.
called?
To the conversation.
I can't remember the name of the song that
But I feel like
Whitey's
Eminem's just
Revenge?
pissed. Isn't he just pissed at everybody?
yes, pretty much.
No,
Yeah.
not necessarily.
I feel like
Okay.
that's his whole thing. Is he
I
get
would-
angry and then he raps about it.
Yeah, and he
He
talks
just makes
shit.
fun
You
of
know,
people.
yeah, Jessica Alba. Touching her breast jaw.
It's usually because
He's
somebody
just
says
really
something.
good at
He's
it.
like, "Oh, I'm
Yeah.
gonna get you." You said
Yeah,
something.
he's just
so-
really
yeah.
good at it.
You're
Yeah,
going
yeah.
on the record.
I
Just
love
crushes
Eminem.
everybody.
That's so good.
I got
Yeah.
one for you. Let's see if y'all knew. I know Dad probably remember.
What was
this.
his group's name?
D12.
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 That's right. Yeah, I remember a couple. I remember a couple of their songs. That was pretty fun.
Yes.
Don't let that fine
Eminem
girl pass you by, but also
and
know that strobe
Mariah
light's
Carey.
What'd you say,
That was an actual
Delvin?
Eminem and Mariah Carey.
Oh yeah.
that
Oh
was
yeah,
an actual
yeah.
beef.
Why? What
The
was that
"Obsessed
about?
with Me" song was
Eminem.
a record about Eminem.
Yeah.
Why are you so obsessed with me? That was about Eminem.
Oh, was
he
he
was
hot
great.
after Mariah or something?
They used to.
They
date
went on a
and
date.
Really?
and Mariah denied it, and then pissed Eminem off. Like I never dated him. Like no, she actually did.
That's hilarious. That's hilarious.
And then Nick Cannon got in on it as her husband and made terrible music.
Wait a minute, he's married to her?
He
yeah,
was.
Nick Cannon and
yeah.
Mariah, they were. Yeah, they're married. They got kids together.
Two
They got
kids.
twins.
Nick Cannon
Were
got
or
every woman in
are?
America pregnant.
Were.
Okay.
Yeah, they have two kids together.
Donnie and I are so lost.
And then Nick Cannon proceeds to get every.
I
woman
just
in
don't
America
keep up
pregnant.
with any of this
Everybody
stuff.
pregnant.
Neither do I.
He has
but-
like
Yeah.
12
I don't have the
kids.
energy. Like, how to remember? Like, this is my wife with her Taylor Swift stuff. She knows every ex-boyfriend and dog. I'm like, how? What the fuck? Where do you have the time?
Yeah.
But you know what? She would say the same. She'd be like, how do you know
I was
every
just getting
quarterback
ready-
and receiver and shit? Like,
Just getting ready to say it's just
It's
about
no
what you
different.
follow.
It's
Yeah,
just
let me
Nick
tell you
Cannon
something
stuff,
about The
'cause
Simpsons. Oh wait, never mind. We're already going too long.
Nick Cannon
Right.
stuff was hilariously bad.
right.
Hilarious.
I'll start talking about some bullshit 90s basketball, right? Like fucking Andrews
yeah.
Biedrins was a problem.
Yeah.
Like,
We
who?
all have our impressions.
Not Andrews Biedrins. Jesus, that is
Mookie
a-
Baylock.
Mookie was a problem.
Mookie was a problem.
Mookie was a problem.
Yeah.
Eddie Jones is going to save the Lakers.
Yeah.
Look, man, Eddie Jones was a bad dude.
Oh, don't start.
I loved
When he was
Eddie
in the
Jones.
I did too.
I
man.
loved Eddie Jones.
Yeah, you loved him on those 19 and 63 team.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, with Nick Van
Whoa, whoa,
Exel,
whoa,
Anthony
whoa.
Peeler.
That was a good team.
Lottie Divac,
We
James
actually-
Worthy.
no,
Come on,
that was
man,
a good team.
fun.
That was a good
fun.
team.
Hey, didn't you win the over on the under on the Luka thing?
I did.
He did.
Yeah, I saw the highlights the other day. I watched it yesterday, and he had like 14 points. But
14
the crazy wasn't they got 14 points, because I told you that made sense. That's normal.
Mm-hmm.
The crazy thing is that they rolled. They won by like 30. And he only had 14. I was like, now that's fucking wild.
Because Rui had like 20.
That's nuts.
Austin Reeves had 20, and then there's some dude I had never even heard of had like 17 off the bench.
Yeah.
And then
Go
LeBron
Lakers.
had like 30 and
Yeah, LeBron does
14.
38
So,
and 7.
yeah, we but
He
the
makes
Jazz
this
suck.
shit look so routine. He's like, yeah, you pencil me in for 27 and 6. I'm like, what the? Like, he gets
The Jazz
every
are
game.
trash.
Every game, 27, 7, 5.
Yeah, I'm fuck the Jazz. Ugh.
I agree.
Yeah.
They suck. I hate them. Yeah.
That is the
John
one team I like
Stockton is-
irrationally hate.
John
So
Stockton.
the
is
sad
short.
part is, I mean, I liked them back in the day in the 90s. I rooted for them. I like
Yeah.
Stockton and Malone.
Only time I voted for or rooted for Stockton and Malone was when they're on the Dream Team. That is it. That's the
I
only
didn't
I
Yeah.
time.
liked,
Same.
That is the only time I voted.
said,
and I missed those Coors Light uniforms. That shit was fun.
I
Those were the best.
I
Jesus
hate
Christ.
Jazz.
Same. TPR says you're stuck on the open road for 5 hours somewhere in the U.S. Where are you cruising? If we're coming from LA, the only place we're getting to in 5 hours
Is
is
LA.
Vegas. Is
Yeah.
Vegas.
In LA. You're like in LA and you're
not
still in
going
LA.
anywhere.
Yeah.
Vegas or Tijuana.
Exactly. Those are the only
Those are the
places
two.
you're getting
Those are the
worth
two.
noting.
You're either five south or five east. You know.
Yeah.
That's
I
it.
guess in Miami, it's either Key West or Orlando.
There you go.
So you guys
Yes.
just taking like from your house and driving 5 hours
Yeah,
somewhere?
that's the one thing. Yeah, but if you're
Oh.
anywhere, where are you driving for 5 hours? I'm not.
I've always wanted, and I will do it one day, but I've always wanted to do like the Route 66 road trip.
Oh sure. Yeah.
And I want to do like all those fucking weird hotels and roadside attractions and things. Like I want to do that trip one
Oh,
day.
it seemed like the biggest frying
Yeah,
pan. And
yeah, I
the biggest
wanna do that a lot.
yarn or whatever the hell.
Yeah,
I
that's some
totally
cool
feel
shit.
you.
I found a clown hotel that's out west somewhere where it's
sure.
just nothing but clown rooms
Yeah,
and shit.
nothing's
I'm
gonna
like,
go wrong there.
we've got to go.
Yeah.
Like,
Delvin, are you thinking what I'm thinking? Are you thinking what I'm thinking, Delvin?
Murder,
Yeah.
murder.
No.
No, this is some white
That's some
shit.
white people
Oh,
shit.
that's some white people shit. Oh,
I
cool.
want to do.
Johnny,
I want to do the
Johnny,
clown
let's
hotel
go,
more.
let's
I
go
want to do the clown
hotel.
hotel more than like Italy. I'm like, fuck Italy. Like, we need to go to the clown
All
hotel.
right.
Like, that's an
Okay.
experience.
Wait. back up.
I said what I said, and I stand by it.
All right, fine.
100%.
In '97, the family.
I just
went
want like
cross-
to rent like a small RV, and like just go like travel, like fucking sit outside, like fucking have a drink and shit. It'd be
You
fun.
and Clarence Thomas, man. You guys are gonna have a bunch of fun.
Yeah. Good idea. Good call. Clarence Thomas.
Jesus, that got dark.
I did have fun in '97 as a family. Like I was in high school. We went cross country to Florida and back in 17 days. We basically did the southern
Wow.
half of the country. And
That's
we
awesome.
saw a lot of things. And I would very much love to do that for the northern half of the country. Like drive up to Seattle, start heading east,
Oh, that'd be dope. Yeah.
go back down like to Maine, go back to like DC, and then cut back west.
What is
and
Route
just-
66? Is from what was it LA to Chicago?
I think so, but I have to look it up. I don't have it memorized. But I do. It's a pain in the ass to plan, but if it goes well, cross country trips can be a lot of fun.
It's just crazy to fun. I like seeing smaller like roadside attraction-y things than like big tourist areas and stuff like that. That's more my kind of thing. Especially like the weirder shit, like really off kilter like museums and shit. I love that stuff. I love that stuff.
You're like Ozzie Smith in that baseball episode of The Simpsons. Like, I'm going to go to all the roadside attractions. This is going to be great.
I don't know what that is, but yes.
It's a great episode of The Simpsons.
It's a great
Talking
episode.
baseball.
Yeah.
Ozzy and the straw.
Route
We're talking
66.
softball with Ozzy and Canseco.
It's a great episode.
Route 66 runs from Chicago through Missouri, Oklahoma, Texas, New Mexico, Arizona, and then it
Ends at the beach,
in-
right?
It ends in Cali.
It's like the boardwalk, right? That's the whole thing.
Yes.
Goes all the way there.
Yeah.
And like it's kind of abandoned now, like because people don't use it anymore. But back in the day, it was like full of shit. I want to go to some of the abandoned shit too.
Yeah,
I
because
wanna
if
see
my
some of
memory
that.
serves, like that was like a major route, and then like
It was, yeah.
Eisenhower came in with like the highway system after World War II, and then it
all dried
slowly
up.
but surely
God
became
damn it, Eisenhower.
Like when
It's
my
the
wife
story
and
of
I
cars.
yeah,
remember when we went on the vacation, we got caught in the hurricane. Remember we
Yes.
had to change locations.
yeah.
Before we changed locations, our original destination, we had a bunch of roadside attractions. We were gonna eat in like this restaurant that's like in a cave, and we were gonna go to somewhere that had like this,
This is
that had like this giant statue like in a lake and shit of like a woman's foot and stuff. I had all these things picked out, and we just didn't get to go because of the hurricane. Like you can think this is a joke. This is not a joke. This is like my shit. I love this.
I don't think it's a
Here's
joke.
the thing. I believe you.
Yeah.
We had a bunch of things picked out. I have like this weird website that like catalogs all this. I'm like,
God.
let's do this stuff.
No.
That's good stuff, man. That's fun stuff.
It's Americana.
We're gonna be like Delvin, go to the Cheesecake Factory. I'm not trying to do that shit.
Yeah. We do shit that's safe.
Yeah.
Y'all can have that.
Hey, it's safe for me.
Wait, okay,
It's safe
That's
for
my
me.
point. Y'all can go ahead and do that.
If I could,
Here's
if I,
the edge. I'm gonna go.
okay, I want to
We ain't
see.
doing that.
Cave like
a
with a
skit.
goddamn Taliban.
I want to see a skit where
That's what I'm saying
Delvin
about this.
and Dev are like, I ain't going into that cave, and Donnie and I are just like, yeah, fuck it. I hope they
We're
got
going in
tots.
that cave.
They got tater tots.
We should do a road trip as like as a podcast. Like it just record that.
We should.
Yeah, no.
Oh, we are going to be stabbing each other. By
Like
the end
we're
of that.
it's like I just, we're stopping here. I gotta meet these people. You better stay this
is
fucking
why-
ass on the
This
road.
is why black people die in the age of 50 from heart disease, and white people die from like bungee cord and shit like
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Y'all stressing us the fuck out with your crazy shit.
Ah, that's a show.
Yeah.
That's a TV show right there. Two white guys, two black guys going on a road trip.
that. Yes.
Good God.
I don't know if it's a TV show. It might
Oh,
be
it
an
is.
episode.
Look at what a gluttony of crap.
And that last
on-
baby.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't think it's a series, Sturts.
No, it's a
It might be.
series. You just got to get celebrities to do it. We ain't going to make money from it, but like other
Yeah.
people will.
What can we call
You
it?
got Matthew McConaughey and Woody Harrelson going off with what? I don't know, Samuel L. Jackson and I don't know, Lawrence
T-Pains.
Fishburne. I don't know. I pick two
A bunch of old
personalities.
dudes in the car.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty sure there was a Jack Nicholson, Morgan Freeman movie about that.
Yeah, I've wanted
But-
to do the Route 60. I've talked to my wife about it. I think we'll probably try to do it once all the kids leave.
Yeah.
But like what I want to do is I would like to rent like a really nice car to drive. Maybe like something convertible or something like really sporty and just like fucking take off. I think it'd be blast.
Kia Sportage.
What?
Oh, thank you for supporting the client.
Fuck?
Support the
The
client.
Kia
Thank you very
Sportage.
much. Yes, Kia is a great car company, and I wholly endorse all
Is
their
it?
products. And
You are
Uh,
dumb, Delvin.
don't-
God, you're dumb.
guys, that's where my paycheck comes from. Kia
I
is
know.
great. I love Kia. Everything's great about Kia. I have nothing bad to say ever about Kia.
I'd drive
Ever.
a Stinger. I would drive a Stinger. Or
Stinger,
what's that
there
new
you
one?
go.
Was it the K5 or whatever they have? It's not bad.
K5 is like the new Altima. Yep.
What's that new SUV they got?
They poached a designer from Lexus or BMW.
Are they still rocking the 9 Inch Nails rip-off logo?
Yes,
Oh.
K9.
Is that your work? Did you do that for them? Like,
Oh yeah, no. No. I just moved money
Donnie,
around. That's
some
all I
white
do.
stoner did that logo.
Oh, no.
Like,
Yeah, well,
I know the 9 Inch Nails logo when I see it. I was like, you
Yeah.
fucking
yeah,
yards.
I have nothing to do with designs. I just make sure the bills are paid on time. Sort of.
Kias look a lot better than they used to look, though. I will say that.
Absolutely.
That's true.
Absolutely.
I give them that. I
They
give them
look a
that.
lot better. Like, oh, nice looking car.
That Stinger's like a legit sport car.
It is,
Yeah,
but
it
they
is.
discontinued it because like they were trying to compete with BMW.
Already?
Worked out.
That's the
Yeah, they're done.
Oh, damn.
They also had a deal with LeBron because he liked the K900. So we were doing LeBron spots every year for like 5 something plus when I was working there. So that was always interesting.
Remember
Nice.
that LeBron PlayStation 5?
I remember that.
You remember when who was that Clipper player who dunked over the Optima?
Blake
Oh, yeah.
Griffin.
Blake Griffin.
Blake Griffin. Yeah, there
That's
you
a
go.
name I haven't thought of in a minute.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
liked that Optima. The Optima was nice.
We
That was nice.
What?
Okay, Joe, we can't bring back the hamsters for legal reasons, and I cannot say anything further. Also, I don't really
Optima
want to talk
is
too
just
much about
dude,
my
the
employer
Optima-
on this podcast. God damn it.
Donnie, I
Dev,
don't
the-
like the cars you like. I just like
Dev, the
this-
Optima is just a Camry.
Yeah, and I like it.
That's why he likes it.
It's just a sedan.
And I like it.
That's why he likes it. Just a
It's a
Camry,
Fusion.
a cheaper Camry.
And
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay.
I get it.
yeah. We're a
He is
little
a-
more
he is
practical on
definitely-
this side of the aisle. Just a little more
Hey,
practical.
I own a Jetta. I get
Yeah,
it,
thank
but
you.
like
Yeah,
you could
yeah.
have a Jetta instead of that. Like it would be better.
But I don't want a Jetta. I like the Kia Optima.
Also, there's like
Isn't
the
that what
Telluride
cheaper?
was selling like hotcakes. I mean, that was a very popular vehicle for a couple of years there. Kia has their place. Like they're never quite top tier, but they have their place.
Yeah,
Like
I agree.
Xbox.
Pretty much.
Basically,
Sure. Yeah.
a Kia is an Xbox.
Yeah. Actually, it can be. Check out the new EV6.
Oh my
I
god.
can get a used 2016 Kia Optima right now for $5,000.
Also, you know it's old because Optima is discontinued
course
and
you
they are
can.
now called K5s.
They're like, hey,
Oh my god.
Optima
I
was
wouldn't buy a
discontinued
new
like 4 or
car
5 years
in
later.
this area right if I had to. I would rather take the bus at this point. Cars are
The
so
first-
fucking expensive.
The first car I ever financed on my own was a Kia Rio.
oh, I remember
Well,
those.
there you go.
Yeah.
The first car
I used to
ever
call
bought-
I used to call it the Skate because it looked like an old roller skate to me, like this little bubble car with little
It
wheels. I was
does.
like, it's just a skate.
I'll take that Kia Telluride.
Yeah. They love naming their cars off of like places for some reason. But yeah, the first car, I mean, I still am driving my 2006 Toyota Corolla stick shift.
Nice.
And this car is like old enough to vote now. So, you know,
Wow.
that shows
They
how
don't
much
give-
I
they
care.
give you
Wait a minute, how old is it? What is it?
2006.
I was
Bought a
reading the
brand
chat.
new. I bought it brand new with my FASA loan. I had a little bit extra for a down
Nice.
payment.
Nice. What is it?
2006 Toyota Corolla. And the
Oh
reason
yeah, that car lasts forever.
it's the last version of that model run, which is the best way to buy cars, just to get a little bit nerdy while we're still
Sure.
going because it's already 3 hours plus. You do not want to buy the first version of a new model run because they haven't worked out all the kinks. Now, granted, is my 6-disc CD changer a little
It's like
old?
being day one on
Yeah.
a game. You want to wait until all the patches in the Game of the Year edition.
You want to No Man's Sky that. You don't really want to go right on day one.
That's facts.
Anywho,
Yeah, I'm still rocking my 2010 Scion XB.
there you
I
go.
will drive that thing
Fabulous.
until it completely dies.
Yeah. One of the things I also love about my car is because it's a stick shift and it's so old, I could probably leave it open and the only thing that would be stolen are my M&M and System of a Down CDs.
Wake up.
They wouldn't even steal those.
Make up-
What's a CD?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
It's
All right,
fun
we're
with
gonna
the-
land this plane here. It's time. It's time to get out of here. It is definitely late. Donnie was supposed to leave 4,000
An
years
hour
ago,
ago.
but he decided to just tough it out
I'm
because
gonna
he's
pay
that
for this
dude.
shit in a few minutes.
Donnie
a few
is
hours.
Yep.
I'm gonna pay for this shit soon. Ugh.
All right, Snarts, thank you for joining us on this PlayStation-filled episode of Shenanigans. Until next time, play some video games because PlayStation isn't putting any out. Oh yeah, I gotta end this, huh? I forgot
You
I'm in
gotta do
charge.
the thing,
I
man.
would
Yeah.
hit the fucking
Yeah.
button.
I'm waiting for Donnie to do it. I forgot. Yeah.
Nope, it's you.
I have no button.
Well, good night.